You can take control of those airwaves toll-free if you want. The number is 855-450-FREE, 855-450-3733. And if you want to sound better than the typical phone caller, you can call us over our Discord chat, where we now have 3 Discord on-air call-in line rooms waiting for you to give you plenty of options to get on with us. That means you don't have to wait for somebody to clear out of the... We used to just have one Discord room.
Right.
Now you can just hop on into line 2 or line 3 if you would like over at discord.lrn.fm. Joining you tonight, it's Ian.
And Conan.
And Darryl.
All right, so stuff to talk about. We've got it. Of course, the Alex Jones thing, people are still talking about it. Conan, you'd asked about it when you came in here tonight. We may cover it because Reason actually has an interesting opinion piece about it that I thought might be worth sharing. And again, you can, of course, bring up whatever is on your mind. We've also got the story about Venezuela and President Nicolas Maduro.
You're talking about the supposed assassination attempt over the weekend?
No, I have not heard about
Some of the National Guard guys said, no, it was just like a gas tank exploded.
This I had not heard about. This was actually...
Yeah, apparently there was a supposed attempted assassination using drones over the weekend. One of the drones, allegedly with explosives, crashed near an apartment building.
This was an assassination attempt against Maduro.
That's the allegation by Maduro, is that there was an assassination attempt against Maduro. Some of the National Guard guys said, yeah, there was no drone. It was just something blew up, but there was no assassination attempt.
Just to be clear, this was the Venezuelan National Guard?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, I mean, but good question, though, Ian, because there's no telling. We got military all over the damn globe.
I don't think...
I wouldn't be surprised if our New Hampshire National Guard in Venezuela keeping the peace.
Well, I don't think that Venezuela is going to want the United States government in their land mass anytime soon, because the president there makes out the U.S. government to be the source of all their problems. However, recently he admitted...
I agree with a little bit of that, yeah.
Well, actually, the source of some of their problems.
Not a little bit, some of it, yes.
It's only a little bit, though. But ultimately, the failure in Venezuela is the economic system, and Maduro actually admitted somewhat to some level of failure recently. And there was a story about this from the AFP. I think I brought it up on Saturday night, and I read like one sentence, and then we totally got sidetracked and never really got into the story. And I thought this was interesting because for years, the president in Venezuela has been blaming all kinds of outside influences on why people in Venezuela can't get medicine, can't get basic food items. You know, they're losing, on average, I think 20 pounds or so per year over the last 2 years just because they don't have the nutrition to keep... maintain a weight. They're losing weight.
Wow, sounds like we need some of that socialism here in this country.
You're looking fine. I don't know if you...
I'm talking about the guys who can't get the Darryl technique down, which is running and eating well.
Right. So the story here from the AFP, Nicolas Maduro has admitted his economic model has, quote, failed in the wake of food and medicine shortages and public service paralysis, such as Tuesday's power failure that affected 80% of Caracas. He said in his party Congress, he told them, quote, the production models we've tried so far have failed, and the responsibility is ours, mine, and yours, which is the first time he's ever taken any responsibility for any kind of failure there in Venezuela.
But he also put the failure on everybody else in Venezuela.
Well, he's putting it on the party.
It's mine and yours.
He's putting it on the party. This was a comment that he made to the ruling Socialist Party. As Venezuela looks to tackle chronic inflation, the International Monetary Fund predicted would reach 1,000,000% this year. Could you do me a favor and pull up Dollar today, Darryl? It's been a while since we've done it. Last I looked, I think it was $1 was at around 3 or 3.5 million Bolivar.
Holy God.
Fuerte. And now I know they're switching over to the new Soberano Bolivar, the Bolivar Soberano, which is the sovereign Bolivar, to replace the Bolivar Fuerte, which is the strong Bolivar, which itself replaced the regular Bolivar like 15 years ago or something like that. So did you find that current number?
I do not currently have the number in front of me. The site is loading slow.
That's all right. Let me go on here with Maduro. He says
3.8
million. All right, there you go. It slowed down a little bit.
I think they use commas instead of decimal points, and then there's like 3 different numbers here. So yeah, 3.811284.
There you go. And remember when we first started talking about those numbers, it was what, like 70,000 to 1 or something like that, or something really.
Yeah.
It's changed a lot in just 2 years. Anyway, he goes on saying, quote, "Enough with the whining. We need to produce with or without outside aggression, with or without blockades. We need to make Venezuela an economic power. No more whining. I want solutions, comrades."
Well, that's a little better than before. That, actually admitting to the real failure, and that is the people, the voters, the people who want everything for free.
Well, I mean, not everybody in Venezuela wants
the people who are left
socialism.
there. I think a lot of the ones who don't want the socialism got out of Dodge a long time ago.
It's a little.
You would think incorrectly.
Yeah, easier said than done. I mean, it's not like the other countries nearby want to take on millions and millions of migrants, refugees, basically. But the other thing that you need to know about, Conan, is the voting there is not the solution, because the voting system is rigged. There are a lot of people who
I'm not talking about voting for politicians. I'm talking about voting for stuff, for more things, for more entitlements, for more government control. Well,
usually the only votes you get are for politicians unless there's some sort of referendum on the ballot. So when people are voting in Venezuela, millions of people refuse to participate because they don't want to legitimize, or in their mind at least, they don't want to legitimize the ruling party's election system. And
and the ruling party, they wind up doing all of these things to where they prohibit their competition from even appearing on the ballot.
Sometimes they've even locked up some of their competitors in prison cells prior to the election, just to keep them from...
and then as part of the sentence saying, you also cannot run for political office.
Right. So they basically, the fix is in Venezuela, and so the opposition party, they exist, they're fairly strong, but they don't want to participate in elections that are basically a scam. Maduro, the president, put together a People's Congress, I think is what it was called. It was
something of that sort.
So they have their parliament, or whatever their equivalent of that is.
National Assembly.
Thank you. The Asamblea. And then Maduro builds a completely separate organization that he claims is going to be more accountable to the people, and then only his guys are allowed to run for the offices, and they hold a special election to elect these people to this brand newly created People's Congress. And the idea is they would then rewrite the entire constitution of the country of Venezuela, and the opposition party's like, they're hamstrung. There's nothing they can do about it.
Right. Do you want to vote for this person hand-selected by Nicolas Maduro, or cast a blank ballot, or just stay home? Well, I've not eaten in a week. I don't have the energy to get off the damn couch to walk to the polling place.
If this opposition party is so strong, why haven't the pitchforks and torches come out yet?
That's a good question. I mean, there was last year in May, there were, or it started in May, it lasted for several weeks.
Chased around one of the islands with people with empty pots and pans.
That's right. He did get chased by people when he made a public appearance. That was sometime last year. Also, last year in the streets of Caracas, there were just day after day after day of protests where the police were shooting and killing innocent people.
Yes.
So that did happen, and it went on. It was protracted. I mean, it went on for weeks. These in the streets protests. But eventually you gotta eat. You gotta
tire out.
Right. And Occupy, for instance, was sort of the equivalent, the more, I would say, peaceful equivalent here in the United States, and they tired out after some amount of weeks.
And the Venezuelans, they're too busy standing in line hoping to be able to buy a slice of bread.
Some of them are, spending hours and hours, dozens of hours every single month, just trying to get the most basic of food items. It's an absolute mess there, and let's talk a little bit more about it, because he says here he wants solutions. Well, we got an answer for you, Maduro, if you're listening. Which you probably aren't.
He probably isn't.
But if you were, we have the answer to why your country's failing and what you can do about it. But I suspect he's not going to get the same solutions out of his so-called comrades that he's talking to. More coming up. Free Talk Live.
From the first letter of Captain Mark. History is full of flowery documents claiming to limit the power of the crown. But these poetic social contracts have been impotent to prevent the predation. Limited government is a lie they use to keep us submissive. The Crown cannot be trusted to abide by its founding charters, nor its treaties, nor even its own rules. The essence of the Crown is centralized violence, and I've had enough. That's why I raised my black banner. I am no revolutionary. My aim is not to reset the cycle of violence, but to break it. My aim is an evolved society, invisible to the Crown. Not a new hierarchy, but decentralized networks with no central figure for the Crown to target. If you want your servile life, keep it, but we will not submit to the Crown's agenda. And when you are ready to stop being its beast of burden, ready for adventure and opportunity, join us at pirateswithoutborders.com.
I've said it many times on air, and I'll say it here. The New Hampshire Liberty Alliance is one of the most important organizations for freedom in the world. New Hampshire is ground zero for freedom, and the NHLA is the best organization at promoting effective liberty activism. This ad is sponsored by Free Talk Live, and I, Mark Edge, am a lifetime member because I believe in the NHLA. Please check them out at nhliberty.org. Not everyone can move right now, but you can support the cause. Donate top cryptocurrencies or old-fashioned U.S. dollars, nhliberty.org. Visit their website and see what they're all about, nhliberty.org.
Zencash is an end-to-end encrypted system with zero-knowledge technology over which communications, data, or value can be securely transmitted and stored. With over 13,000 secure nodes, Zencash has one of the most distributed secure node systems of any cryptocurrency, and Zencash now has supernodes. Supernodes will advance the decentralization of the Zencash network and ensure the utility not only of Zencash as a currency, but also the future services that will be layered in the infrastructure. Learn more at zencash.com. Free Press Publications is an independent, alternative media and publishing company founded in June 2009 with the mission of ensuring a free press for the freedom movement and is committed to spreading the message of peace, freedom, love, and liberty. FPP also gives new authors an avenue for publishing freedom-oriented material. FPP brings you daily news and commentary on the website fpp.cc, as well as a daily 5-minute newscast, FPP Radio News, and weekly news, views, and commentary in the FPP Freedom Minute and Peace, Love, Liberty Radio at fppradio.com, and the monthly newspaper FPP News at news.fpp.cc. Find FPP online at fpp.cc. That's fpp.cc, as in Creative Commons.
LRN.FM now has a Discord. Discord is a free text and voice chat platform, and we now have our own server with a bunch of channels at discord.lrn.fm. You can join other listeners as they chat about various things during our live shows, or anytime, day or night. Discord software is available cross-platform, so you can have it on whatever device you want and take your chats anywhere. Join our Discord at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm. So you've signed the Shire Society Declaration and are planning your move to New Hampshire to be around more liberty-oriented people. Next, sign up for the Shire Society Forum at forum.shiresociety.com. There are a bunch of people there who are already in the Shire, and they want to meet you. If you're already in the Shire physically, you should also come by the forums. Remember, not everyone uses Facebook. New people are signing up for the Shire Society Forum every month, so drop in and say hello at forum.shiresociety.com.
Love what we do? Please help support our international satellite channels at patreon.lrn.fm. That's patreon.lrn.fm.
Is Free Talk Live. Dial on in, toll free, take control of the airwaves. Bring up whatever you want. Our number is 855-450-FREE like freedom. We've also got Discord, which is the high-quality way to connect to the show. It'll sound almost like you're sitting here in the studio, and it's super easy to get on our Discord server. Just go to discord.lrn.fm, and it's not just a way to call in. It's actually a way to interact with some of the hosts of the show. Conan, you and I are in there pretty regularly. There are probably, 100 people that are likely active on the server right now, and hundreds more who have registered and, come back within the last week. So head over to discord.lrn.fm. You'll see at the very top of the channels list, because it's a big chat server with different sub-channels and topics. The top 3 channels, though, are the on-air call-in lines, which you are free to use to call in about anything that's on your mind. Now, we've been talking about Venezuela, the latest news that, or at least some of the latest news, apparently there was an alleged assassination attempt against Maduro, although his own National Guard is denying that that was the case. Nicolas Maduro, the current president in Venezuela, has finally come out and has admitted some fault. He says the production models we've tried so far have failed, and the responsibility is ours, mine, and yours, he told the ruling PSUV Party Congress. Enough with the whining, he says. We need to produce with or without outside aggression, with or without blockades, and we need to make Venezuela an economic power. No more whining. I want solutions, comrades.
Surprised he didn't say, let's make Venezuela great again.
You know what's going to happen, don't you?
What?
This is the birth of the new Che. This generation's new Che is going to come from Venezuela.
So what will that look like in Venezuela?
Well, a lot of murder, a lot of executions, a lot of anti-government types who are going to these anti-government types who are fighting the opposition, or who are the opposition.
Well, they may not be anti-government. They may just be pro their government.
They're anti what they have.
They're anti-Maduro. They may be anti-socialist, but I'm not clear on that. And if there's somebody who's in Venezuela who knows more about the opposition, and maybe there's more than one side to the opposition, who knows?
Right. The opposition is fractured,
right,
just like it is everywhere, to where it's kind of like getting all of the independent and undeclared voters united behind a single candidate.
Yeah, we're against Trump. So are the Green Party members, right? So
are the Democrats. Right. We're not, against Trump the same reason the Democrats are. The Democrats are just against Trump because he's not their guy.
Well, here's the question. So in Cuba, when they were having their thousands of executions, who were those dissenting voices who needed to be taken out and put up against the wall? Were they anti-government, or were they just anti-Fidel?
I don't know. And I don't know enough about Cuban history.
It was a long time ago, but here we are repeating
Chances are it was probably just people that were anti-Fidel Castro.
Or pro-USA. So how many Venezuelans are pro-USA, pro-meddling? The CIA is doing it, and the oil companies are definitely doing it.
I imagine a number of them are pretty friendly towards the U.S. because it's the U.S. dollar that essentially rules the economy there. I mean, if you can get your hands on dollars, then you are doing very, very well in comparison to people holding the bolivar, because the hyperinflation just continues to spiral the value of the bolivar down. No matter what kind of tricks the Venezuelan government's going to try to pull here, they've announced this new Bolivar Soberano, which was supposed to come out last month, but then I guess they decided to not release it last month because they wanted to combine it with the Petro somehow, which is the
sovereign Bolivar is going to be backed by the Petro that is supposedly backed by oil.
And the Petro is their embarrassingly laughable attempt at a cryptocurrency, and we recently did do an update on the Petro here on Free Talk Live. It appears as though the last time we checked, which was within the last 2 weeks, it appears as though the Venezuelan Petro still is not available. They were supposed to release it back in February, so a half a year ago now.
Right.
When they did release it, it was released on a broken website where you could not actually purchase the thing. They changed at the last minute that they were going to do an Ethereum token, and then they changed that to, I think, an EOS token. And I
thought it was NEM.
Whatever. They hadn't even updated their all their documentation on the website, and again, you couldn't even put an order in for it. All the while claiming they had all these billions of dollars worth of crypto floating in to back up their government. So far, there's really no evidence whatsoever that the Petro is in any way purchasable, or if you could purchase it, tradable anywhere.
That and the John McAfee coin. I'm still waiting for mine.
Yeah, what's going on with that?
I know, right?
Have you checked in on it to see if he actually did release it, or was that just a joke?
It sounded more and more like it was just a joke.
Oh, that's too bad.
How close was it released? Around May?
It was supposed to. No. It was supposed to be end of July.
Yeah, but when was it? When did we read that original article?
June.
It was not on April Fool's Day.
Yeah, it was in June.
Everyone would have jumped on that.
So here's a little bit more here from the AFP. The socialist government has over recent years nationalized various industry sectors, such as cement and steel, expropriated hundreds of businesses, including supermarket chains, and lately brought in the army to control street markets. Get this. what's the army doing in street markets in Venezuela? What is their goal?
They're protecting the food.
Hold on. My guess is they're probably trying to get rations for themselves.
Well, that may be going on, but what's their official goal?
Make sure that no one buys more than 2 of something, because that's also the law.
That's close. According to the AFP, the army has been brought in at Maduro's order to control street markets to guard against rising prices.
Well,
the army is guarding against rising prices.
You can't have them scalpers out there ruining the marketplace. Got to keep it stable, right, Ian?
It's just so insane. I mean, it's just so
It doesn't
laughably...
matter that the value of the bolivar has dropped 75% since this morning. You are not allowed to increase the price of that apple.
They're going to send men with guns around to make sure that you're not raising your prices too quickly there to keep up with inflation in Venezuela. Make sure you sell stuff below cost.
I know exactly. So what incentive does any marketplace have to even wake up in the mornings? It's like, well, you know what?
Right.
It's going to let all this stuff rot on the shelf.
Oh, if you do that, then you'll get arrested for not actually doing business. And then Maduro will send the National Guard or the military or whoever to go into your place and then force you to open. We've read stories about it happening to bakeries. We read the story about the toy company that they were like, we can't sell this stuff below cost, but Maduro's sent the military in or the police or whoever it was to then force this guy to sell Socialist Barbie for less than what his cost was.
That's true. It happened. So now you got Nicolas Maduro, the president of Venezuela, on one hand admitting they failed. Our economic model has failed. So I guess his solution is to send the military in to force the prices to stay where they are at gunpoint. Because that's going to work. Because you can get around the laws of economics by pointing guns at people. That's going to work for a long time. Oh, wow. It's just so crazy. But there's more. This, according to El Presidente himself, he says, I estimate it will take about 2 years to reach a high level of stability and see the first symptoms of new and economic prosperity without, for 1 second, affecting Social Security and protection, he said. Now, where does he get that number from? 2 years to reach a high level of stability?
Well, I've got a 5-year plan.
The toll-free number here is 855-450-FREE, 855-450-3733. And, of course, he was reelected in a campaign in which nobody could really run against him. More coming up.
Hey, Dave. You in for golf this weekend?
I can't. I promised I'd find a plumber to fix a sink and a painter to paint the...
Just use Angie's List.
Doesn't that cost money?
Not at all. It's free to find pros in your area who can do the work. You can even read ratings and reviews from other customers.
What about roofing pros?
Angie's List has pros for everything. And to save time, they'll even match you to the best pros for the job.
Oh, that's awesome. Looks like I'll be able to play after all.
Find the best pros for your next project at angieslist.com.
This is Jessica Armand, creator of the fluoride-free oral care brand, My Magic Mud. You're going to love our new products. Our cutting-edge oral rinses deeply soothe your mouth and fight cavities naturally. Our breath spray, My Magic Mist, will invigorate your senses with essential oils of peppermint and eucalyptus. Our clinically proven toothpaste and tooth powders whiten your teeth and detoxify your mouth. Buy discounted bundles direct at mymagicmud.com and take 10% off with coupon code GCN10. mymagicmud.com.
On Free Talk Live, we're bringing people to the ideas of liberty every day. From wrestling superstars like Glenn Jacobs.
You guys really are having an impact, I believe. Like I said, a lot of where I am now is due to listening to Free Talk Live. You changed my mind on some very important issues years ago.
To random people tuning in on the radio.
I was kind of stuck in the left-right paradigm. I heard your show by chance on a Saturday night. From there, I went on, joined the Free State Project, and become an amplifier. So, I mean, that's really the reason why I amp is because I know that if it wasn't for you guys being on as many stations as you are, I never would have found the ideas of liberty.
Your amp will directly change more lives by getting Free Talk Live in front of people looking for talk radio online and on the air. When you amp Free Talk Live, you get perks like access to the AMP-only Facebook group and AMP podcast. Visit amp.freetalklive.com. The new 4th edition of Healing Our World, The Compassion of Libertarianism, will take your understanding of liberty to a deeper level and has over 1,300 updated references, new cartoons, and a foreword by Dr. Ron Paul. With discounts for multiple book purchases, the 4th edition of Healing Our World is a great gift for the liberals, pragmatists, environmentalists, and Christians in your life who think libertarianism is cold-hearted. Get yours today at healing.freetalklive.com and use promo code FTL for a $5 discount.
The 3 most important things you can do for Free Talk Live are: 1, share 1 episode a week on Facebook or in some other social networking site. 2, buy the things you buy online through shop.freetalklive.com. 3, give $5 a month to the AMP program. It's my firm belief that Free Talk Live's AMP program is the best use of your charitable dollar among liberty-oriented organizations. Support all the organizations you love, but make sure you give $5 a month to AMP at amp.freetalklive.com.
The Free State Project has reached its goal of 20,000 liberty lovers who've pledged to move to New Hampshire and get active to achieve liberty in our lifetime. Perhaps you're trying to figure out what part of New Hampshire should be your destination. If so, consider Keene. You'll find more than 150 reasons to move to Keene at move.freekeene.com. Keene is famous for its historic, publicity-generating activism, as well as being the liberty media capital of the world. It's home to freekeene.com, New Hampshire's destination for liberty activism, news, and opinion. For years, we've been compiling over 150 reasons to move to Keene at move.freekeene.com, where you'll learn about some of what's happening here and what makes Keene a great place to live. If you love liberty, you'll probably enjoy anywhere you end up in the Shire. But do your due diligence first. Please visit move.freekeene.com for the full list of over 150 reasons to move to Keene. That's move.freekeene.com.
This is the Liberty Radio Network, broadcasting the latest liberty-oriented audio content 24 hours a day at LRN.FM.
Free Talk Live. Dial in, toll free. Bring up whatever you want. Our number here is 855-450, free like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. Joining you tonight, it's Ian.
And Conan.
And Darryl.
Hey, want to make sure you know about Bitcoin.com. They've got all kinds of useful features there. If you're into cryptocurrency, you can get the latest news headlines over at news.bitcoin.com. They're updated every single day. Global headlines about Bitcoin. But also, if you're brand new to crypto, brand new to Bitcoin, there's no better place to start and learn the basics than Bitcoin.com. Plus, Bitcoin.com wants you to know about SaveItPurse.com and how you can save 20% easily on your purchases at Amazon. Whatever it is you need to buy, you can save big time through SaveItPurse.com, but you have to use Bitcoin or Bitcoin Cash because SaveItPurse.com is now accepting Bitcoin Cash as your deposit cryptocurrency there. The idea is you turn your crypto into Amazon products at a huge discount. And let me tell you, from personal experience, a lot of personal experience, it works, and it works well. I've done over 130 transactions in 3 years through SaveItPurse.com, and it's been fantastic. So very cool that they are now taking Bitcoin Cash through Save at Purse, SaveAtPurse.com. As we continue here, of course, you're welcome to call in, bring up what you want. We've been talking about the news out of Venezuela that President Nicolas Maduro has actually admitted some level of responsibility for the economic failures of his country. Of course, he doesn't really understand why it's failed. So he's admitting that it has failed, that, quote, their production models they've tried so far have failed, he said. He told his ruling PSUV party Congress, but then demanded solutions from his so-called comrades, further estimating that it would take 2 years to reach a so-called high level of stability and see the first symptoms of new and economic prosperity. He says, without for 1 second affecting Social Security and protection.
You know, he's been scapegoating on the great U.S., the great evil that is the U.S., yes, and the oil companies and this and that. And
I don't know if he's blamed the oil companies.
I think he has.
He blamed the decline in the price of oil But that's not necessarily blaming an oil company.
I think right now, when did his article come out? When did he say all this? Just recently?
Within the last week or two.
Yeah, I think he is just saving his neck because he can't keep blaming the same people over and over and over again. I think people are starting to wake up. Now he is saying, hey, look, I'm going to stay in charge. I'm going to be your benevolent tyrant, but
this is an important thing.
But you guys need to step up and be the solution. You need to help out because I
can't do this alone.
Right.
Yeah, and this is actually probably a smart, desperate kind of move.
I think it's a really good move on his part because it's not going to solve the problem, but keeping him from getting lynched.
It'll kick the ball down the road. Yeah,
it's keeping him from getting lynched.
Right, it kicks the can down the road because he can admit some fault here, which is a man will do that, right? Like you're a man. You've admitted fault.
It takes a brave man to.
So he's admitted some fault, which he's hoping is going to buy him another chance, right? Okay, my people, now I have the solution. Now we know what to do.
It's going to take 2 years.
Right, 2 years.
Hey,
you're going to starve.
Don't lynch me just yet. If you lynch me right now, then I can't implement these plans over the next 2 years.
And then 2 years from now, what's he going to say? According to the story here at the AFP, Maduro's economic recovery plan includes increasing oil production to, quote, 6 million barrels a day by 2025 or before. Oil production has crashed from a high of 3.2 million barrels per day in 2008 to a 30-year low of 1.5 million this year. So he wants to increase oil production from its total low of 1.5 million per day to 6 million per day, even though its record high was 3.2. So he wants to double the record high.
That's fine and dandy and wonderful. Go ahead, double the record high all day long. But the question then becomes, when all of your oil tankers are still sitting in port because they can't be inspected to leave port, who the hell are you selling this oil to?
Well, let's presume they've solved that problem, Darryl. You're referring to a story that's a little old at this point. It's at least a year old, I would say, that we reported on last year about how the oil tankers that PDVSA, that's the state oil company in Venezuela, has, are so in a case of a state of disrepair that they can't get the certification they need to actually go into international waters. So they ultimately can't deliver the oil anywhere. Was the story last year. Maybe let's just presume they've solved that problem. But even if this is his plan for economic recovery, is we're just going to increase production. We're going to quadruple production of oil. Well, okay, so you're going to add more oil into the world oil market. What's that going to do? It's going to drive the price down. Could, at least, unless the oil dries up in other places at the same time. So if they're going to add more oil into the oil market, well, that might get them some more sales. They could make some money on volume, for instance, but they're certainly not going to be making more per barrel in that particular case. Now, also, according to the story here, the IMF's mind-boggling inflation prediction of 1 million% this year says Venezuela's GDP will plummet 18% this year, meaning a fourth consecutive year of double-digit falls in the country's GDP. The economic crisis has hit so hard that the public transport system is almost ground to a halt, with the government and local councils offering free rides in unsafe and uncomfortable pickup trucks branded as kennels by their users. We reported on this a few weeks ago.
That's a great app name for a new ride-sharing company.
Kennel truck. And so imagine, if you can't, just a box kind of truck, but not a box truck, but like a flatbed pickup with like a fencing for a box in the back.
Yep.
Just packed full of people.
I could see it.
Yeah.
Like chickens.
Just like chickens. Exactly. Maduro, who blames Venezuela's woes on a, quote, economic war waged by the United States, called on his supporters to help kickstart production and resist U.S. aggression. Washington has imposed financial sanctions against Maduro and top government officials, as well as the state-owned oil company PDVSA. Venezuela's crude oil sales account for some 96% of the country's revenue. Let me just say that again. Their oil sales, crude oil sales, account for 96% of the country's revenue. If that's not an unhealthy, breakdown,
yes,
I don't know what is. This is a country, mind you, that is, pretty close to the equator, from what I understand. It's a very
It is
warm
a
place.
Tropical climate. They should be able to
grow bananas,
grow
animals,
any
rice,
type of crop you can think of.
year-round.
Yeah, this reminds me of the history is true about the Irish potato famine, where that was their main food. That was that's what all they had that's all they grew. I'm not sure if that history is true or not, but the analogy works. Where if you just concentrate on one, basket of apples and one of them goes bad, the whole thing goes. You need to spread it out a little bit.
Industry, according to the AFP, is operating at just 30%, perhaps best reflected by the farming sector, which barely supplies a quarter of national consumption, having provided 75% of it just a few years ago, according to the National Farmers Federation.
And I found an update from just last month about the Venezuelan oil problems.
With the tankers?
With the tankers. So this comes from tankershipping.com. They say that tanker owners and operators are effectively being forced to load crude via ship-to-ship transfer because the ports in Venezuela are congested. And part of that congestion is because of seizure of PDVSA's deepwater crude oil storage and loading assets for unpaid services.
Wait. So PDVSA had their machines repoed?
That's what it sounds like.
Interesting.
So they took the machines for their loading docks on credit.
This says the deepwater crude storage and loading assets. So yeah, it does sound like some of the loading
storage
stuff.
And loading the things you need to move the oil from the port to the tanker.
And apparently there are at least 60 tankers from Suezmax and Aframax that are idle in the region, meaning traveling at less than 4 knots.
I'm just trying to imagine how
hanging out.
Insane it must be to be the repo crew to try to take this equipment pack. More coming up.
The Bitcoin.com wallet is a simple and powerful full-featured wallet that allows you to send and receive Bitcoin, BTC, and Bitcoin Cash, BCH, with anyone, anywhere in the world. It supports both single and multi-signature wallets and is available in multiple languages. The Bitcoin.com wallet is available on Windows, Linux, Mac, Android, and iOS devices. Use the Bitcoin.com wallet to buy, send, store, and receive both Bitcoin, BTC, and Bitcoin Cash, BCH. Learn more at wallet.bitcoin.com. That's wallet.bitcoin.com.
What's more profitable, running your business or doing bookkeeping? Doing your business, of course, but you want to keep your books so that you can maximize your tax savings, right? What if I told you that there's a person that's a bookkeeper, accountant, and law school graduate that's also a hardcore libertarian?
My name is Melanie Johnson, and I hate the state. I will aggressively help you to minimize your tax exposure and maximize profits, all while staying within the law.
Melanie's your best choice for your taxes and bookkeeping needs. Go to tax.freetalklive.com and check out our website, tax.freetalklive.com.
Hello, this is Dr. Bill Deagle, MD of NutriMedical.com, announcing the breakthrough Red Deer Velvet DR. It delivers the protected building blocks of all organs and tissues, allowing your own stem cells as architects and engineers to regenerate you. Not since fetal life, when aging does not occur, has such an amazing NutriMed been available to help heal you and regenerate you. Anti-aging requires that you correct mineral, activated nutraceutical, and jump the gene defects and poor diet you have to deliver the cellular tools for regeneration. You must remove old damaged cells and replace them with your young healthy cells to wind the biological clock to a younger you. Order your Red Deer Velvet DR now at NutriMedical.com 24/7 or 888-212-8871. That's NutriMedical, N-U-T-R-I, Medical, MEDICAL.com. Or call our order line 888-212-8871.
This is Michael Dean from the Freedom Fiends. I've run websites since 1996 and have used over a dozen web hosts in that time. AgristHosting.com is the only one that hasn't broken my heart. Agrist Hosting's uptime and service is stellar, and their DDoS mitigation is the best I've seen. That's important because if you tell the truth in this world, you'll ruffle feathers. And some people will try dirty tricks to silence your voice. No matter what the haters hit us with, Agrist Hosting keeps our websites online. If you have a mission-critical commercial presence or a world-changing activism site, you cannot tolerate any skullduggery. So go with agristhosting.com. Have a WordPress or blog site, but you're not satisfied with performance or uptime? Or just want raw hosting? Want to pay with Bitcoin? Agris Hosting specializes in high-performance hosting with personalized service. Go to agrishosting.com and click on the button that says Get Hosted. That's agrishosting.com.
Did you know you can watch Free Talk Live during our live show 7 days a week from 7 to 10 p.m. Eastern via our studio cams at cam.freetalklive.com? Plus, you can chat with other listeners while you watch, all totally free. Now that our live video stream is hosted by YouTube, our video archives will be online even faster. So be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Listen, watch, and chat all free at cam.freetalklive.com. That's cam.freetalklive.com.
Cell 411 is a free app for Android and iOS that replaces government-controlled 911. Cell 411 allows you to preset a group of friends or private organizations to show up at any emergency. Cell 411 is a nightmare for the state because it proves their so-called services aren't needed. Cell 411 has had thousands of installs, and of course it's covered by the BIPCOT no government license. Cell 411 because your friends won't shoot you when you're in trouble. Without the government, who would build the emergency services? You and Cell 411. Get it today at getcell411.com.
You can sign up to receive the latest about the Liberty Radio Network via our email updates at updates.lrn.fm. That's updates.lrn.fm.
This is Free Talk Live. You can bring up anything. We're talking about the living nightmare that is the country of Venezuela right now, and finally the president admitting some level of responsibility for the economic situation there. But is his solution going to solve the problem? Of course not, because he doesn't understand that just allowing the market to actually work unencumbered would, of course, solve the problem right away. Or at least in relatively short order compared to how long it's taken for them to spiral down into just an absolute S-hole of economic insanity. He just needs
insanity. 2 more years.
Yeah, so we're going to get into a little bit more about that because, Darryl, you've got this update on the shipping situation there that's affecting the country's ability to ship out the oil that they are still drilling for. We'll continue that, but I also want you to know about Liberty.menu. If you're an individual who rejects the initiation of force and agrees to abide by the ethics of the non-aggression principle, you qualify to use Liberty.menu. It's a tool for the libertarian voluntarist community. And if you're a business owner, you're an entrepreneur, maybe you're an events coordinator or a digital content provider, you can put your listing up at Liberty.menu, or more than one listing if you've got more than one thing to list. That's totally fine. It's free to do this. So if you want other liberty-minded folks to know about you, your business, your product, your event, or whatever it is that you do, go to Liberty.menu and get registered there. It's free to use the site. It's super easy. It's a beautiful site. It's real nice looking, and it works well. Liberty.menu, code FTL, like Free Talk Live, will get you a special badge for your user profile. We can't give you a discount because it's a free site. So go over to Liberty.menu and get the thing that you do listed there so you can maybe get some new business that you didn't have before. Liberty.menu. As we continue here, so Darryl, just to recap briefly, one of the challenges facing the socialist government in Venezuela, beyond their failed economic system that has failed every time it's ever been tried anywhere in the world over time, and now it is failing worse in Venezuela than anywhere else on the planet at the moment, beyond that problem, beyond the fact that they've nationalized tons of their industry, hundreds of businesses, and run them into the ground and are still running them in the red today, besides all of that, besides the fact that people are starving or whatever, the president's new economic plan to supposedly fix the problems is to quadruple their oil output. But as you pointed out, Darryl, well, how are they going to output, first of all, if they could quadruple it, how are they going to output that much oil when they can't even get their shipping containers onto a product or onto a ship to fill the oil tankers basically with oil? They can't do it, and you were just explaining one of the reasons why.
Right. So, again, article from tankershipping.com. They say, according to local reports, Suezmax Senegal Calandula is the first tanker to load Venezuelan crude using the STS method that's ship to ship. Since PDVSA proposed the alternative. The tanker had been waiting in the region since February. This article came out a month ago.
So it was sitting there for 5 months, basically, waiting around to try to get some oil, and they did a ship-to-ship load. But my question is, how did it get on the first ship in the first place?
I don't know, and they don't explain.
Yeah.
They're just saying that they're having to do this new method because... And let me continue with the article. Another 60 Suezmax and Aframax tankers appear to be idle in the region, meaning that they're basically floating in circles at less than 4 knots. According to the vessel values tracking tool, local reports suggest that 24 million barrels of crude oil are due for loading, equivalent to the load program for April. The congestion amid the Venezuelan crude loading terminal has been caused by the seizure of PDVSA's deepwater crude oil storage and loading assets in the Caribbean by unpaid service companies. This hinders loading of tankers bound for China and other Far East customers. Port congestion is also delaying imports of goods into Venezuela.
Well, not that there are that many companies waiting to import goods, because in order to get your goods into Venezuela, you'd have to get paid in money that's not legally able to pay you, like dollars.
The people of Venezuela, we already mentioned, they live in a tropical climate.
That's right, yeah.
They should be able to make their own food and produce their own food, but they're not able to because everything's been seized by the government, and then there's no incentive to go work in a field.
Right, you don't own the farm, so why
because you're not going to actually get paid, or if you do get paid, you'll get paid less than what the market rate of the food is.
So even if there was somebody who wanted to import something, they couldn't do it because the oil tankers get preference, and the oil tankers can't go in because the equipment's not there anymore to load the oil tankers because Venezuela didn't pay the companies that they bought the equipment from.
That's what it sounds like.
So the government reneged on their contract. So the government bought the equipment to, service these tankers, and then they just didn't pay the bill. And the companies who sold them the equipment came back and took them. They hired repo men to go in and this is what I was saying during the break. Can you imagine being? Has anybody here seen Repo Man, the movie from the 1980s with Emilio Estevez? You're looking at me blankly.
Can't
I'm guessing
say
that
I
means you
have.
haven't.
Yes, and I think it was so B that it kind of slipped my mind.
It was so what? B level?
B level.
Yeah, I mean it's a budget movie, that's for sure.
It's coming back to me.
It's a cult classic.
When you said
Repo Man. If you haven't seen
which
Repo
cult
Man,
do you have to join?
This is Body Parts,
enjoy
right?
This?
No.
There was a Repo movie, and I think it was.
You're thinking of an opera. There's some sort of repo opera or something like that. That has nothing to do with it. I don't know what that is. But Repo Man's about repo guys that go around and repossess cars.
Like Dog the Bounty Hunter, right? Or
does he do that kind of work?
Does he
I don't
do
know.
repo? I don't know.
No, I've never seen that
but they
show.
definitely have these on the
Dog the Bounty Hunter.
He's a
bounty hunter.
Yeah, but they did repo as well.
Bounty hunters repo people. I mean, they take people from wherever they are and bring them to whoever it is that they owe money to. Or
I've kind of done repo working for Enterprise. You've
taken cars back?
I've gone to junkyards and picked our cars back up, and then gotten a contact high on the way back from whatever was in the car.
So anyway, I mean, repo work can be exciting work, right? Like you're going to questionable people's houses who are not necessarily honest people, and who might be violent, right?
Yep.
Like they might actually try to stop you.
They don't want you stealing what they stole from you.
Well, you're not stealing it. You're taking back what's yours.
In their mind,
it's stealing, yeah. But you're just taking back what's yours because they haven't made the payments. So, or the banks, and they hired you to do it. So that's pretty exciting, right? Like you've got your keys. The bank gives you a key to the car because they had a key. And then you have to go in whenever, the people aren't in the front yard and, get in the car and start it up and get out of there before somebody starts blasting at you with a shotgun or something.
You show up with a tow truck and then you just load the car onto the tow truck and then take off.
That's the other way to do it. That's true. But that's exciting, right? Like that's an exciting line of work. It probably gets a little intense at times, probably mostly pretty dull, but it can have its moments. Imagine now going into the Caracas port, which is going to have some sort of military presence, right? Like it's run by the government. You're going into the Caracas port. It's your job to repossess heavy loading equipment, right? So it's not just your typical tow job.
We've got to take your deep water crude oil storage tank.
Yeah, this is going to take an army.
That's what I'm saying. How big was this repo crew? Did they hire professional mercenaries to come along with them?
So they have repoed these items, or they're still sitting there?
Yeah, that's why they haven't. They don't have them anymore. That's why they can't even load the damn tankers.
Says the congestion amid the crude oil loading terminals has been caused by the seizure of PDVSA's deepwater crude oil storage and loading assets.
They snatched them up. They're gone. So imagine being on this repo crew where you would have to go up against presumably the military. It sounds really like an intimidating job, but then you guys thought of what they probably could do. They could just bring a barbecue grill and
throw some plantains on there.
Throw whatever on there, man.
Some pork.
You can throw anything on there. These guys, those military guys,
eat pineapple on their pizzas.
Those military guys are going to drop their weapons and just line up for whatever food you bring out there.
And then, Ian, remember when we covered the story about the Venezuelan government owing one of the money printing people like $80 million
US, right? Because they have to pay in dollars. You don't get to pay the money printers in the money they just printed for you, right?
It would have been great if it was a cryptocurrency.
Well, that would have been pretty cool. But ultimately, and that's another story we haven't gotten an update on for a while, because they're still printing money. So maybe they settled up with that company, or maybe they found some other company they could dupe into printing their money for them. But you would think that the word would have gotten around, right? Like you would think that, oh, hey, De La Rue, I think was the name of the company, De La Rue Printing. We heard they didn't get paid last time, so we're going to need all the money up front, Mr. Maduro. No more credit for you. The toll-free number here is 855-450-FREE. So there's your update. They're supposedly going to sell a bunch of oil, which they can't really sell because the equipment's not even there to load up the tankers. That's his brilliant plan to save the economy. No, let's not let people run their own businesses, make their own decisions, let the market operate. It's all got to be centrally planned, so expect things to get much, much worse there before they get better, and they're not going to get better until there's a major political upheaval and change. There's more coming up. It's Free Talk Live.
Have you experienced the miracle of CBDs? They can help you reduce suffering, reduce stress, help you sleep better, modulate inflammation in the body, and is absolutely safe. Meta Hemp Solutions offers a radically innovative approach to CBDs for exceptional results. Stop suffering and reduce your stress now. Isn't it time for a good night's sleep? Stop worrying about tomorrow today. Lab tested for potency, purity, and is non-psychoactive. Free shipping to all 50 states. Try our product risk-free, money-back guarantee. Use code GCN15 to get 15% off. That's code GCN15 to get 15% off. Offer ends soon, so visit MetaHemp Solutions today at metahempsolutions.com or call 833-858-7500. Suffer no more. Get rid of the stress and sleep better. Get our product now at metahempsolutions.com. That's metahempsolutions.com.
We've all heard about blockchain assets like Dogecoin, Ether, and Ripple. Bitcoin isn't the only player in the blockchain game any longer. And for those of us wondering how to get our hands on these digital assets, finally, there's a solution. Shapeshift.io allows you to buy and sell between your digital assets and Bitcoin instantly between your own digital wallets. I've used it with ease. Shapeshift.io. There's no account or email address needed. You send them the crypto you want to sell. They send back the crypto you want to buy. It's that easy. Shapeshift.io.
Did you know we've taken our LRN.FM telephone listen line to a new level with the LRN.FM audio on demand line? Now you can call 712-770-8447 anytime and listen to LRN.FM's live feed. And you can listen to a bunch of our original shows on demand. Long distance fees may apply. Just dial 712-770-8447 and choose from the menu. 712-770-8447.
You're listening to the live edition of Free Talk Live. Hour number 2 is next after the news here on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
From Keene, the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Darryl W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Wednesday, August 8th, 2018. Silver is trading at $15.33 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,210 per ounce. Zencash is trading at $21, and the average price of Bitcoin is $6,501. Antiwar.com reports tensions between Saudi Arabia and Canada are soaring since a Friday statement in which Canada expressed serious concerns about Saudi Arabia arresting human rights activists. On Monday, Saudi Arabia expelled Canadian Ambassador Dennis Horrick. Saudi officials announced that they are suspending all flights to Toronto, freezing all new trade and investments in Canada, and are ending educational exchanges and are retaining its rights to take further actions against them. Trade between Canada and Saudi Arabia are limited at any rate. Canada buys some petrochemicals from the Saudis, and the Saudis have a deal with a Canadian unit of U.S. arms maker General Dynamics on armored vehicles. The Canadian Foreign Ministry does not appear to be backing down, saying they will continue to stand up for human rights and freedom of expression around the world. While the Saudis have relied on their international economic influence to throw their weight around in diplomatic disagreements, they are almost certainly not going to be able to drum up anti-Canadian sentiment to a great extent. Zencash is the world's first private, distributed, and reliable platform for communications, transactions, and publishing. Zencash has the ability to use both transparent and shielded transactions, with shielded transactions using zero-knowledge proofs. Zencash features global governance with inclusive decision-making, reliable funding for continuous improvements, and documentation and wallets in many languages that are available for Linux, Mac, Windows, and Android devices. Learn more at zencash.com. That's zencash.com. UPI reports a federal court ruled Tuesday that the mother of a teenager killed in Mexico by a U.S. Border Patrol agent shooting from across the border in Arizona can sue for damages. The Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals issued a 2-1 ruling denying Border Patrol agent Lonnie Schwartz qualified immunity, stating 16-year-old Jose Antonio Alana Rodriguez was protected against unreasonable searches and seizures, even though he was shot and killed in Mexico. Judge Andrew Kleinfeld wrote, based on the facts alleged in the complaint, Schwartz violated the Fourth Amendment. It is inconceivable that any reasonable officer could have thought that he or she could kill J.A. for no reason. Thus, Schwartz lacks qualified immunity. Schwartz was found not guilty in April of second-degree murder for the 2012 shooting, and a retrial is set to take place in October. In the criminal case, Schwartz said he was acting in self-defense against people throwing rocks through a border fence in Nogales, Arizona, when he shot Rodriguez in the back 10 times. Araceli Rodriguez, Jose's mother, argued her son was innocently walking down a street in Mexico and was not throwing rocks or engaging in any other illegal activity. To allow Rodriguez's mother to sue for damages, the Ninth Circuit Court ruled to extend the U.S. Supreme Court ruling of Bivens v. 6 unknown named agents of the Federal Bureau of Narcotics, which held that a civil lawsuit can be filed against the federal government officials who violate the Fourth Amendment. You can support FPP Radio by joining the Fans program. Fans are friends, allies, and numerous supporters. You can join the Fans program for as little as $1 per month through Patreon and get perks like ad-free versions of FPP Radio News and Peace, Love, Liberty Radio. To learn more or to join the Fans program, visit fans.fppradio.com. Reuters reports a trial in which a school groundskeeper alleged that his use of Monsanto's Roundup weed killer caused his terminal cancer will go to a California jury after lawyers for both sides delivered their closing arguments on Tuesday. Groundskeeper Dwayne Johnson is one of more than 5,000 plaintiffs across the United States who claim Monsanto's glyphosate-containing herbicides, including the widely used Roundup, cause cancer. His case, the first to go to trial, began in San Francisco's Superior Court of California 4 weeks ago. Johnson's lawyer, Brent Wisner, claimed Monsanto knew about glyphosate's cancer risk but decided to bury the information. Monsanto, a unit of Bayer AG following a $62.5 billion acquisition by the German conglomerate, denies the allegation and says expert testimony on which Johnson and others rely does not satisfy any scientific or legal requirements. The U.S. EPA in September 2017 concluded a decades-long assessment of glyphosate risk and found the chemical not likely carcinogenic to humans. The World Health Organization's cancer arm in 2015 classified glyphosate as probably carcinogenic to humans. The jury, which is expected to start deliberating on Wednesday, can decide to award punitive damages on top of the more than $39 million in compensatory damages Johnson is seeking. This has been FPP Radio News. Online at fppradio.com.
A new trend in offices across the country, more and more people are switching to fetal position desks so that they can curl up in a ball on the floor while they work. Aaron Vaughn has a story.
The human body isn't meant to sit at a desk for 6 or 7 hours. The natural position, especially in the workplace, is to shut down completely, return to a womb-like state, and rock back and forth to soothe yourself.
Fetal position desks, which are even popping up in offices like Google and Facebook, come in a variety of shapes and sizes. Some have adjustable height, so you can cower underneath them, while more expensive options include a warm, pulsating blanket for workers to wrap themselves in to feel calm. But many people are making their own.
I've rigged this up so I can type comfortably and my arms won't get tired. Plus, it's got speakers so I can listen to a comforting voice saying shh over and over again.
I've tried a fetal position desk myself, and I can say it's a great way to get through the f***ing day.
Thanks, Aaron. I hate my job.
This is the Onion News Network.
Free Talk Live.
Yeah, it's Free Talk Live. We're launching into the second hour of the program. You can join us here on the radio. Toll-free number is 855-450, free like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. Skype on in here. Oh, no, you can't do that. Sorry. I'm going to have to break myself of that habit. We fired Skype. You cannot Skype into the show anymore.
Do we need a Skype jar?
That probably wouldn't hurt.
Kind of like, how some people have a cuss jar. Every time you say Skype, you put $1 in the jar.
I did good for the first hour. I didn't say it in the first hour. Discord is what we've replaced that with. Discord now has 3 call-in lines on there, and if we need to add more, we can add more. It's not a problem. Discord.lrn.fm. You'll sound awesome like you're sitting here in the studio with us. During the news break, I don't know how we got on the topic, but I brought up this thing Johnny Ray showed me.
First, we were talking about Repo Man.
Oh, then, Repo Man.
Because
that was the 1980s when that movie came out.
And then there's Repo Man 2010, which is what I was thinking about, which is completely body
unrelated.
Parts. It's
and
Jude
I was
Law
thinking of
Forrest
the wrestler.
Whitaker.
The wrestler from the 90s.
Yes.
And then for whatever reason, I was like, hey, what about The Outsiders? And you guys have never seen The Outsiders or read the book.
I don't even know what it is.
It's a gang. It's
Scott Hall, Kevin Nash.
It's a coming of age gang versus gang. And it was a lot of up and comers. A lot of Hollywood up and comers were in this movie. Tom Cruise
when was it
and
from?
Estevez and Patrick Swayze.
This is from the 80s.
Yeah. Good stuff. And so talking about this 80s show with the coming of age kids brought us to
there's this show that's come out apparently recently on YouTube, and I guess YouTube's doing their own thing now, kind of like how Netflix has their own series that they're putting together. In fact, Netflix has just an insane amount of programming that they're creating.
Right, and YouTube has even done a good bit of movies where YouTube is producing these movies. They're putting them on their
YouTube exclusive.
The YouTube Red service,
which is a subscription service.
And it's my thought that they're attempting to compete with Netflix.
Definitely.
That also has a lot of original
Amazon
programming.
And all the Hulu and
exactly.
So apparently they've brought back the Karate Kid in a series called Cobra Kai,
which isn't a satire. Which is what I immediately thought when you started talking about it. I was thinking it's like these.
You thought it was like Funny or Die, college humor, maybe.
Yeah, the 2 actors got together. They're retired, and they just get together and just like, hey, let's hang out. And they're in their garage and they're just throwing cardboard cutouts at each other.
No, this is like a well-produced looking television series featuring Ralph Macchio, the original Karate Kid from the 1980s, who's now in his 50s. The dude was born in 1961. So he's back. The bad guy from the movie is also back. And in fact, this new show, it looks like it might even focus on the bad guy. What was his name?
Johnny.
So he's back.
Johnny
Cobra Kai.
Yeah, so he's back, and the trailer's funny. It looks well produced, well done.
Yeah, I might put it on my list.
Johnny Ray was raving about it, so he's actually watching. Johnny Ray, our former Sunday night co-host, he's Mr. Mom now. I don't know, for listeners that would like a Johnny Ray update, he had to leave Free Talk Live because his girl got pregnant, soon to be married, and he's staying home.
His kid, his boy, was taking a nap on his chest, and his whole head was just buried in Johnny Ray's beard.
Yeah,
so it was just right up to his shoulders. Very, very strange looking picture, and he probably needs to shave that thing off.
No, he seems to be growing it longer. He's going the mountain man.
Wow.
The New Hampshire mountain man look.
I wonder how long his new wife is going to put up with that nonsense.
I don't know. She must like it, right? Like if it's gotten that long. But anyway, so he's really into the show. Highly recommended it. I asked him because I said that the trailer looks funny. It's got some really funny moments, and he described it as a dramedy. So I guess it's got some good humor along with the drama.
Well, here's what I saw
Cobra
watching.
Kai.
Here's what I saw watching the trailer.
Yeah,
it was an exact remake of the original
of Karate Kid.
It's the same. It's the same damn thing. Why? Well, because that's all Hollywood could do these days. Everything is a remake of things
a reboot
or a refreshing.
Halloween's coming out again. The movie Halloween, the old John Carpenter movie from 1980.
I mean, what original movies have come out recently?
Oh, there's got to be something. I just don't pay attention.
But no one's paying attention. No one watches them.
Movies.
So there might be original content out there, but everyone flocks to what they find
familiar.
Exactly.
Yeah. And all these things from the 1980s, the stuff that we grew up with, right? We're all in our 30s here in the studio.
I'm 40.
Tonight. You're now 40. That's right.
I'm close.
So we're in our late 30s, early 40s. We grew up in the 1980s.
Yes.
And so the stuff that, we were experiencing as kids, they're bringing all that stuff back. I was just watching a god-awful Transformers movie last week. The most recent one was absolutely terrible.
Bumblebee?
No, that one hasn't come out yet. That's coming out later this year, and it actually looks pretty good.
All I know is John Cena's in that one.
He is. That's right. The meme guy. The wrestler meme
He's
guy.
a wrestler. Yeah. And apparently you can actually see him in the movie.
Yeah, I guess he's one of the main roles, as a matter of fact.
Well, here's the question. So now why is this happening?
Some people would say that, there's not really been anything new in a long time because everybody wants to sort of, bring back stuff from their childhood.
Well, it's nothing is new. It's nothing new under the sun. It's everything.
Right, that was said 2,700 years ago.
But here's the reason why it seems so prominent, and it really is prominent. And everything that is popular, everything that is doing well in Hollywood right now, is making money, is a reboot. Everything. None of the independent films, none of the original movies. You just don't hear about them. You might hear about them 10 years from now when they become cult classics.
What about the Marvel movies? Do those count as reboots?
Oh, most definitely. They're not reboots, but they're
taking an old property and
correct. They are characters that a lot of us grew up. I grew up with the comic books. I know all those characters,
and those are huge.
Some of them are Guardians of the Galaxy are new to me.
Okay,
but I mean,
but those are the old characters.
But the format makes sense to me. But here's the reason, and this is what you're getting on about the YouTube bringing in its own class of movies, and that is there are so many options available. So you have competition among all of these different producers. You also have our shrinking attention span, and then you have
what'd you say?
Yes, exactly. And then you have
shrinking,
and then the shrinking, and well, this process is called,
that might be a movie that YouTube is.
This process is called the blurring. But
this is not a new term for me.
It is a new term that I think is going to grow and it's going to become a thing.
Where'd you get this term? What are your conspiracy theory shows?
Stop it. There is a movie review team out there, and I don't know their name. It's Red Tube Media or something like that. But the guy's name is Mr. Plinkett.
Huh.
But anyway, so you have those two things, and then you also have the producers who are trying to make money.
Sure.
So they're not going to risk their money trying something new when they know all they got to do is do a reboot.
And true. Yeah, go with the tried.
And so it's sad that
Predator's coming out again.
Yes, and it actually looks good.
I think a lot of it has to do not necessarily so much with a shortening of attention span, because movies are fairly long. They're like 2 hours long.
Yeah, but when you look at the actual movie itself, it's just action scene from action scene. It's a few seconds.
He's saying the style of editing, the directorial style, like Michael Bay is a perfect example of this.
What I was going to say is a lot of it has to do with the way that people get their entertainment. To where when we were kids, we could go to the movie theater and watch a new movie, and it might be in the movie theater for a couple of months.
Maximum.
And then if you were lucky, 6 months later, there might be a copy at the video store.
Right.
If you were lucky. But now, with everything being on demand and so many people, quote unquote, cutting the cord, and I don't know if you can consider it cord cutting if you're paying for 5 different streaming services, but people are getting content from different places.
Right.
Yeah, so again, it's the competition. You have these producers who are competing with each other, trying to get their content out there to you, but it's so easy to get content that they have to. Hollywood's putting out 10 movies a week.
And
then you have all of these. You have Netflix, you have Hulu, you have YouTube, you have Amazon.
Hulu's not creating their own content.
They all have their own.
Hulu is aggregating. Hulu aggregates from other places, but you've got Netflix.
They have their own content, if I'm not mistaken.
I don't think they
I don't know.
do.
I don't subscribe.
But Netflix, they'll come up with these original series, and then they drop, here's the entire series, and people binge watch over a weekend.
At once. Now, okay, so since you were having a tough time, Conan, thinking of original properties, things that are not sequels or reboots or whatever, I have not seen this movie, but I saw it when I was at Walmart tonight.
It's based on a book.
Ready Player One.
It's a book, dude.
So you're saying that doesn't count, even if it's never been made into a movie? All right, what would you say is a new property? More coming up.
And not to mention the shedding. I would vacuum the carpet 3 times a week. Frodo was scratching all night long, bouncing on the side of the bed, keeping me awake the whole entire night from all the scratching and chewing. It kind of makes you neurotic.
Does your dog itch, scratch, stink, or shed like crazy?
Mounds and mounds of fur all over the place.
Come to Dinovite for help.
DINOVITE.com.
If you want the dog to be healthy, you got to feed it something healthy.
Dinovite is nutrition.
The omega-3 fatty acids.
Flaxseed, zinc, alfalfa.
Our vitamins and enzymes replace the nutrients cooked out of most commercial dog foods.
He gobbles it up. He's not up all night scratching. His shedding is minimal, and it is such a pleasure to have my calm, relaxed, non-shedding puppy back. And I have to thank Dinovite for that.
Don't let your dog itch, scratch, stink, or shed like crazy.
Come to Dinovite for help.
859-428-1000.
859-428-1000.
DINOVITE.com.
What's more profitable, running your business or doing bookkeeping? Doing your business, of course, but you want to keep your books so that you can maximize your tax savings, right? What if I told you that there's a person that's a bookkeeper, accountant, and law school graduate that's also a hardcore libertarian?
My name is Melanie Johnson, and I hate the state. I will aggressively help you to minimize your tax exposure and maximize profits, all while staying within the law.
Melanie's your best choice for your taxes and bookkeeping needs. Go to tax.freetalklive.com and check out our website, tax.freetalklive.com.
The Bitcoin.com wallet is a simple and powerful full-featured wallet that allows you to send and receive Bitcoin, BTC, and Bitcoin Cash, BCH, with anyone, anywhere in the world. It supports both single and multi-signature wallets and is available in multiple languages. The Bitcoin.com wallet is available on Windows, Linux, Mac, Android, and iOS devices. Use the Bitcoin.com wallet to buy, send, store, and receive both Bitcoin, BTC, and Bitcoin Cash, BCH. Learn more at wallet.bitcoin.com. That's wallet.bitcoin.com.
Is spreading the message of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace around the globe worth $2 per month to you? As you may already know, in addition to our internet feed, LRN.FM broadcasts on free-to-air satellite across North and Central America, as well as Sub-Saharan Africa. And we've been available on satellite for free 24/7 since 2010. The LRN.FM free-to-air satellite signal is reaching some of the most oppressive regimes in the world, and there's no doubt our ideas are making an impact. You can learn more about the channel's impact by watching the 3-minute video at fund.lrn.fm. If you'd like to help free minds globally with our ideas of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace, you can donate as little as $2 per month via fund.lrn.fm. You can help us continue and expand our satellite broadcast to multiple continents. Visit fund.lrn.fm today, and thank you for your help. Don't forget to share the link on social media. That's fund.lrn.fm. If you want to know the latest about Free Talk Live before we go on the air, all you need to decide is how you want it delivered. It's your choice. Visit news.freetalklive.com. You can get emailed announcements and participate in contests via our email updates list. Plus, we have a Twitter account that you can follow and a Facebook page where you can become a fan. So visit news.freetalklive.com to get news about Free Talk Live as soon as it's announced and the way you want it delivered at news.freetalklive.com. That's news.freetalklive.com.
When you hear the word lobbyist, you probably think about greedy corporations, but not all lobbyists are the same. Some are fighting for the freedoms you hold dear. Liberty Lobby LLC is doing just that in New Hampshire, working hard to represent you, not some special interest group. You can help by going to libertylobby.info, where your contribution will give us the tools we need to ensure that your voice is heard. Visit libertylobby.info today to find out more.
What's up next? Visit the Liberty Radio Network program guide to find out at shows.lrn.fm. That's shows.lrn.fm.
This is Free Talk Live. You can bring up whatever you want. The toll-free number here is 855-450-FREE, 855-450-3733. We've got three Discord on-air call-in lines open for you if you would like to join us there over at discord.lrn.fm. You can get the Discord app for your favorite smart device or your laptop or desktop computer, Linux, Windows, Macintosh. There's even a web version of it. Go to discord.lrn.fm. Joining you tonight, it's Ian
and Conan
and Darryl.
We're talking about the domestic box office here. We've been discussing how movies are sort of. You were saying Hollywood's out of ideas.
It's not that they're out of ideas. You still have original movies that are coming out, original product that is coming out, but
so you admit that there are original things. Good.
But no one watches them.
Not many.
No one watches them. They don't make money, and more producers have, and directors and artists have stopped making them because it's like we're not gonna waste our money on that.
All right.
We're not gonna risk our money on something that's not going to work for us.
So
in the end.
A couple of the top Netflix shows that are considered Netflix originals, and I want to hear your opinion, since you're saying that nothing is original.
No, I didn't say nothing. I
Orange
said
is the New Black.
I have never seen it.
Original or no?
I haven't seen it, and I'm not going to.
Well, it's one of the top shows on Netflix.
Okay,
and
I haven't seen it, so I can't.
It's an original.
I don't have
thing.
I don't have an opinion.
My question isn't, Conan, do you like it? My question is,
how can I have an opinion on it if I don't know anything about it? I don't know who's in it. I don't know what it's about.
Darryl, he didn't say nothing is original.
Originally, he did, but he
was exaggerating. But look, I'm going to back Conan up on this one, but let's look at movies. Because when you're looking at Netflix, they're not making money directly off of each of those series. If nobody's watching it, presumably they're not going to continue producing it, but they get their revenue from their subscribers, and then they make what they think their subscribers are going to enjoy. Whereas, with like a television show that's not Netflix, they've got to sell advertisements, and there's more revenue, kind of more direct revenue per show. There's ratings with TV. With movies, you get a box office return, right? You can rank the movies in the year. So I went back, I pulled up 2017, the latest full year that we have box office returns for. This according to boxofficemojo.com. Now, I'm not real connected with the movie scene. I couldn't tell you what's in theaters right now. I have no idea. Every now and then I'll hear about something and I'm like, I think I want to see that.
Yeah, it's usually through Mark, because Mark is the big Marvel guy.
I don't go see the Marvel movies though, so I don't really care. I don't really care about those.
Do you watch them at all?
No, I went to see the Captain America, the first one, which was like a decade ago or whatever, when that came out, because Mark wanted me to go with him. But I don't think I've seen anything really.
I'm trying to remember the last movie I went to go watch in a movie theater.
Mine would have been Solo, the Star Wars movie.
Mine was Armageddon.
In 1998?
99, somewhere around that time.
That was the last time you were in a movie theater?
Yeah.
Wow, man.
And I'm sitting on a stack of tickets. I keep winning movie tickets on trivia in the morning.
Seriously, when do they expire?
They don't.
Well, let's go.
Well, we don't know what's out there. We got to move the
Slender Man comes out sometime soon. I saw an ad.
I did
that on the YouTube.
I'm glad you brought that up. Based on a video game.
And then, of course, Predator is coming out later this year. The Predator is what they're calling this one. And so they get into the top 10.
There's going to be a super Predator.
Just looking at the top 10 of 2017, you're absolutely right, Conan. Number one, Star Wars Last Jedi with 620 million gross. And that may be, I don't know if that's global or if that's US.
So that's a sequel to something. It's not a reboot.
Same thing. It's the same concept, though. You're using an old property. You're taking an old property that people love from the past, and you're doing it again.
And even some of the same actors.
Yeah, it's a sure thing
before
for
they
the
kill
producers.
them all off.
Beauty and the Beast, the live-action version of Beauty and the Beast.
There was a live-action version?
There was. I think it had the chick from Harry Potter, the young lady, Hermione. She was in that.
Whatever her name is.
Wonder Woman, number 3, comic book.
Yep.
Number 4, Jumanji sequel. Welcome to the Jungle.
That's actually a good movie.
I'm not saying these aren't good movies. I haven't seen most of them, but
is it good because it's got a wrestler in it, or is it good because it's good?
It's good because it's good.
I heard it was good. Number 5, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. Again, comic book.
Yep.
Number 6, Spider-Man Homecoming. Comic book. And again, a series that has also been rebooted, by the way. The Spider-Man movies back when the guy that did... oh God, I'm spacing on
Tobey Maguire.
Yeah, Maguire.
Pleasantville.
Right. I was thinking of the director in that case, but anyway, yeah, the Evil Dead series director came back and did that. Now they've rebooted that series again. Number 7 on the list of 2017 domestic grosses, It. Again, another remake. Remember they made It back when it was a TV series,
and this was It Part 1.
Oh, they're making a sequel to this one?
My understanding was basically they took the original and they are doing.
The
2 movie
the original book is 2 parts.
I see,
but I don't know. I haven't seen it yet. It's available to me, but I haven't watched it yet. I'm kind of getting away from scary movies.
And to round out the top 10 here, number 8, Thor Ragnarok, another sequel to another comic book movie. Despicable Me Part 3 at number 9.
And
is that the thing with the little yellow
some little guys?
thing,
yeah,
the minions.
Yeah.
Okay.
Number 3. And finally, number 10 on the list of 2017 domestic grosses, Justice League, which is, again, another comic book.
Now,
DC.
I do think that Hulu and Netflix and Amazon have a little more leeway when it comes to producing original content, because they're not, unless it's something like Game of Thrones, they're not spending as much money as Hollywood is.
Right.
And their intended audience is going to, just what you said, they're going to binge watch the whole season all in one sitting. And so I think that, yes, Orange is the New Black, whatever it's about, probably...
It's about ladies' prison.
Yeah, and it's why I haven't watched it. I think that probably might have some original content there that is not... that has definitely been done before, but not like these movies have been done before.
Here's 2018. So just to back you up even further now, because I know we're only halfway
far,
through.
like halfway through the year.
Only halfway through the year. Number 1, Black Panther with over 700 million gross, which is again comic book movie.
But
number 2, Avengers: Infinity War, another comic book movie. Number 3, Incredibles 2, so a sequel. Number 4, Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom, another sequel.
Isn't this like the 5th Jurassic Park movie?
Yes.
Okay.
It is. Number 5 is Deadpool Part 2, another sequel. 6, Solo, a Star Wars story, prequel. Ant-Man and the Wasp at number 7, another comic book movie. Number 8, this one I don't know. Okay, so maybe this is an exception. A Quiet Place. Does anyone know what that is?
Somewhere that you go to get away from Conan yelling about things?
You the one who've been yelling all evening.
Number 9, Hotel Transylvania Part 3, Summer Vacation.
Didn't know there were first 2 of them.
Yeah, I never heard of that
series.
series.
Quiet Place is a horror film, which is like the bad guys pick up on sound.
Horror movies have happened before, so therefore remake.
This may be an original one. This sounds like an original.
This sounds original, I think. So you got to be quiet. If you make any sound at all, they'll pick up on it. They'll come swooping down and grab you.
Like the Tremors.
Oh, maybe it has been done before.
Number 10 on 2018, Ocean's 8, which is the all-female remake of Ocean's 11.
Oh, crap.
Right?
We can't win.
So they're going to have 9 and 10 to
maybe.
like round out the thing.
So out of 20 movies, out of the top 10 in 2017, 2018, only 1 property was an original concept.
Maybe.
Barely. 855, 450 free. But if you haven't seen Tremors from the 1980s, check that one out.
Hunters, anglers, campers, and survivalists. Get back to nature. Expand your horizons with the highest quality, most versatile, unique slingshots and sling bows on the market at slingbow.com. Slingbow products are compact and models start from just $17.98. They're perfect for your bug-out bag or storing in your vehicle. Give yourself and your loved ones the excitement and tradition of Slingbow, a new frontier in archery and truly modern twist on this primitive survival tool. Feel the thrill only at slingbow.com.
This is Jessica Armand, founder of My Magic Mud. Our team helped organize a successful effort to remove fluoride from our city's water supply. This is our passion. My Magic Mud Oral Care purifies and brightens your smile naturally. GCN listeners, please support my family business by purchasing our products from your local health food store. We're also available at CVS Pharmacy, or visit us at mymagicmud.com and take 10% off now with coupon code GCN10.
According to a groundbreaking study on anxiety disorders published this week in the New England Journal of Medicine, researchers have discovered that feelings of anxiety can be completely resolved as long as people think about them real hard.
After studying subjects with mild to chronic anxiety disorders, we found that the best way to overcome mental stress is to isolate the root of the anxiety, analyze it from every possible angle, and then think about it nonstop until it completely disappears.
Researchers worked with numerous subjects in the middle of high-stress scenarios and said the key to overcoming anxiety is to start by focusing on a minor problem, list everything that can go wrong in the worst-case scenario, and then repeat that list in your head 200 times. After anywhere between 3 to 6 hours of perpetually torturing yourself over things outside of your control, all feelings of anxiety will completely disappear, and you can finally enjoy the remainder of your day.
This is the Onion News Network.
Are you a cryptocurrency advocate? The Crypto Tip is the ideal outreach tool to help new people discover cryptocurrency. It's a printable business card-sized tip that you can give to service providers, preferably in addition to a good cash tip. When the server scans the QR code, it'll bring up an explanation of cryptocurrency, how to install a wallet, and allow them to claim the tip. If they don't claim the crypto, you get your tip refunded to you after a time period you specify. Plus, if they do claim the tip, you get an email alert. Create as many tips as you want at cryptotip.org. That's cryptotip.org. Some of you asked, and now we've delivered. LRN.FM's live Keene, New Hampshire studio shows are now streamed in HD on Twitch. Visit our channel at twitch.lrn.fm and give it a follow. If you have Amazon Prime, you get one free subscription on Twitch. If you use it on our channel, Twitch will give LRN.FM a monthly piece of your Prime subscription cost. So please watch, follow, share, and subscribe to twitch.lrn.fm. That's twitch.lrn.fm.
Since time began, tyrants have taken aim at personal liberties. Now there's a movie that aims back.
The government has no more right to tell us what to put in our bodies than they have to take our guns or tell us what books we can read.
6 drug police were eaten by bears while raiding a marijuana farm.
On your knees, you dirty hippie! Jesus. On your knees! What's the problem, officer?
Today, many cops who enforce pot laws do so only because it provides them with cushy jobs, good benefits, and a chance to push people around.
I was an undercover narcotics officer. The drug war is nothing but a farce.
The Second Amendment says you gotta keep you and your gat intact.
Guns and Weed, The Road to Freedom. A film by Michael W. Dean and Nima Vadati.
DVD available now at gunsandweed.com or on Amazon. That's gunsandweed.com. Makes the perfect gift. Remember, that's gunsandweed.com.
If you enjoy LRN.FM, please contribute to your favorite shows via their websites and become an amplifier at amp.lrn.fm. That's amp.lrn.fm.
It's Free Talk Live. You dial toll free. Take control of the airwaves here if you want. The number is 855-450-FREE like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. There's our Discord on-air call-in lines as well over at discord.lrn.fm. Joining you tonight, it's Ian.
And Conan.
And Darryl.
And don't forget about Zencash. It is a cryptocurrency created by voluntarists, people that understand the ideas of liberty and the ideas of good economics. They started Zencash, and they started it with some of the best technology out there, including zero-knowledge anonymity. For those of you that are into privacy and privacy coins, you really need to know about Zencash. Go and learn more about it at zencash.com. You'll also learn that they've got over 13,000 secure nodes, which makes Zencash one of the most well-distributed, secure systems of any cryptocurrency on the planet. Like, we're talking top 3 level here. Go to zencash.com to learn more. They've also now launched their super nodes, which advances the decentralization of the Zencash network and ensures the utility of Zencash as a currency and also the future services that will be layered in the infrastructure. So they've got a lot of plans for Zencash. They're just getting started. Go to zencash.com. Their official Zencash wallet is available for Linux, Mac, Windows, and Android devices. Once again, zencash.com. We're talking about Hollywood being out of ideas and how the box office is just loaded up with reboots, remakes,
refreshes, sequels, prequels,
and all these other things. And we went through the top 10 box office takes of 2017 and 2018 thus far and looked at those 20 movies, and all but one of them were a remake, reboot, sequel, comic book story kind of thing. So I think that backs up your argument, Conan, and I mean, nobody really cares, right? Because people love this stuff. Well, I mean, we like it.
Back in the day, when the kids were all around the radio and listening to the Saturday morning, what do they call them?
Radio dramas.
Well, you had your Lone Ranger and you had your Buck Rogers.
Yeah, radio dramas.
Yeah, I mean, those were basically the same friggin' story every single Saturday with the same characters fighting the same villains. They never got anything accomplished, and they're real quick and
sure.
Is there any difference today, or is it just the same?
Well, I mean, the old story is...
Are we just a reboot?
Well, I mean,
of 100 years ago.
The claim is that all of the stories have been told, right? Like there's
nothing new under the sun.
Right, that it's all the hero's journey or whatever, and it's just different characters and different jokes.
And we all go back to what makes us feel good and makes us remember our childhood. The member berries are coming, and you love them, and you want to get more.
And what exactly are member berries?
All right, if you ever watched South Park, you would know.
Okay, there's a bunch of people that don't watch South Park that have no clue what a member berry is.
It's a thing in a South Park episode of berries that go, I remember that. And it's always about some sort of thing from the past.
Remember when Han Solo shot first?
I remember. Yeah.
It's all nostalgic memories of our past. You brought up
the Solo movie was good, by the way.
You brought up an original idea that just consumed every member berry on the vine, and that was Stranger Things,
which is one of the top shows on Netflix right now.
Because it's a callback to the 80s.
It's a great original idea. The characters are new and original. The story seems original, and no, it's everything about it is what I remember feeling growing up. You have the Stephen King font on the Stranger Things. You had all the kids playing Dungeons and Dragons, and they're all talking on their walkie-talkies.
Since we're talking about 80s
they're all building forts. I mean,
is Westworld.
Westworld is most definitely
an original, or is that
Westworld's a TV series? Westworld is excellent.
It's a reboot.
It's a TV reboot of a movie from the 1970s. So it was originally
which is actually pretty decent, by the way. The movie.
I never seen the movie, but it was originally a Michael Crichton script. So the same guy who wrote Jurassic Park and many other classic books. I think he passed away like a decade ago.
Yes, he's the best.
But he wrote Westworld the movie. And now they've rebooted that into what is now a 2-season-long HBO series of hour-long drama kind of show, and it's fantastic. I'm a big fan.
Season 1 is fantastic. I haven't even finished season 2. I can't watch it. It got old. It's stale.
Huh? Yeah, I didn't.
Maybe if they had broken out and they're in the outside world. And then they're on
That's coming. That's season 3.
They're on some Richard's yacht having a massacre.
I guess I shouldn't probably say. I won't say anything else. I don't want to spoil it for anybody. But it basically is the overarching plot is about robots that sort of become more conscious of themselves and want to escape from this park that they've been put in. Where they exist to serve.
They weren't
humans.
Put there. They were born there.
Well, yeah, but they essentially.
Then that means they were put there.
They essentially exist to serve the...
If they were made in the park, and then they never left the park, then they were put in the park.
Whatever. They were built there. Anyway, it's a great show. Westworld on HBO. Their main purpose originally was to basically service humans in a variety of different ways.
Service their fantasies. So sexual, violent, all kinds of sick stuff. And they get tired of being raped and murdered and all that. So they have themselves a robot rebellion and rise up, and it gets very, very interesting. So anything else to say about reboots and... I don't know. I like my action hero movies, my Marvels, and not this DC necessarily, but I'll watch all of them.
You like the Marvels, not the DC?
I've never really liked DC. I was always kind of iffy with Marvel. It was when Image Comics came out, Spawn, and the Wildcats, and you had it in Pitt. You started getting into a more mature...
How about Dark Horse Comics? I used to read the Alien and Predator series over there.
The art, I was always more of I always liked good art.
Yeah.
So if it was a good story and good art, I was all over it. Dark Horse the artwork was sometimes worse than Marvel. They might have had good storylines, but I just couldn't get past the...
I gotcha.
Who's putting out the Star Wars comics?
I don't have a clue. Probably...
They have comics?
Yes.
I know back in the day, Marvel was purchasing the rights to every movie.
Doesn't Disney own Marvel now?
Yes.
And Disney owns Star Wars, so it's got to be Marvel.
Disney owns everything.
Okay. It's got to be Marvel.
Illuminati owns Disney.
By the way, I was going to say, the Solo movie was good. I don't know if anybody saw that one.
No one's watching it because they're all blackballing the last director of Star Wars and, of course, the CEO of Lucasfilms. Everyone's like, nope, we're boycotting. So yeah, it might be perfect. It might be excellent.
Great. I thought
they're
it was really
boycotting, but it was still one of the top 10.
It was one of the top
movies.
10. Yeah,
still, yeah.
Which
didn't
means
do as
that
well as they'd hoped.
some people are watching this.
A lot of people watched it. It just didn't do
they
as well
lost
as they'd hoped.
That movie tanked.
No, it didn't tank.
Compared to the money they were anticipating making, it tanked.
Well,
yes.
I don't know. Anyway, toll-free number here tonight is 855-450 free. It's number 6 right now, Conan. So it's not even probably isn't even done making money at this point.
Oh no, it'll make money. It'll make a lot of money, but it's not going to make what the last Star Wars made.
All right, I guess that's our pop culture commentary for the night. Unless you want to jump in here and talk about various remakes and such. And again, these things are working.
Yeah, point us out to good movies that have come out in the last 5 years that are good, created by Hollywood. And
successful and commercially successable?
Sure. Well, they don't even have to be commercially successful, but they have their original ideas. That's all I want. I want to watch them.
So you don't care if it's successful?
Like this Quiet Thing, The Quiet Place. I'll look into that. I'm going to check it out.
All right.
It probably is a ripoff of Tremors.
I love Tremors. All right, what else we got here? Darryl, you've got a story out of California where San Francisco Bay Area companies are being prohibited from what?
So let me jump into it. Article from Business Insider. They say Mountain View, which is a city in Silicon Valley, will not allow a new office development where Facebook is set to move in this fall to have a cafeteria with free food for employees. The city of San Francisco, which is home to Twitter, among others, is proposing a similar rule that would ban new workplace cafeterias for the same reason.
What's the reason? Yeah.
I will get into as we get into the article.
I'm going to take a guess. They want to protect the existing restaurants and fast food places and guarantee them business.
When Facebook moves into a new office complex in Mountain View called The Village, workers will not be able to enjoy a beloved perk, cafeterias with unlimited breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And I'll tell you why.
I'm going to guess it's health reasons. They're worried about obesity and over-sugaring and over-fat.
Oh, so are they allowed to have a cafeteria, just not free food?
We'll explain.
All right, more on the way here in moments. What will San Francisco be protecting you from now?
Sugar.
Free Talk Live.
Does your dog itch, scratch, stink, or shed like crazy? Come to Dynavite for help.
Order a 90-day supply of Dynavite.
Everything we tried failed except the Dynavite.
Pick up 2 bottles of Super Mega Fish Oil.
Get the 3rd bottle free. Packed with omega-3, DHA, and EPA fatty acids.
Super Mega is great for your dog's immune system, healthy skin, and soft, shiny fur.
Dogs love it. Try Super Omega Fish Oil.
Buy 2, get 1 free.
At Dynavite.com.
DINOVITE.com.
Are you a cryptocurrency advocate? The Crypto Tip is the ideal outreach tool to help new people discover cryptocurrency. It's a printable business card-sized tip that you can give to service providers, preferably in addition to a good cash tip. When the server scans the QR code, it'll bring up an explanation of cryptocurrency, how to install a wallet, and allow them to claim the tip. If they don't claim the crypto, you get your tip refunded to you after a time period you specify. Plus, if they do claim the tip, you get an email alert. Create as many tips as you want at cryptotip.org. That's cryptotip.org.
Did you know that safe drinking water is the second most essential human need? Don't take your water for granted. Know what you're drinking. Get a ProPure 10 in-home water test kit for just $20, a $39 value, and test for 10 different water contaminants and conditions. Takes about 10 minutes and works with most potable city and well water sources. No salesman will call. Order your test kit today and receive a $20 coupon good towards the purchase of a ProPure water filter system. Visit a participating authorized ProPure dealer or ProPureUSA.com.
Hi, I'm Patrick Colbeck, and I'm running for governor. Time for some straight talk. I'm pro-God, pro-family, pro-life, and pro-constitutional carry. As an aerospace engineer, I like to fix things. We need to fix our roads, our schools, our auto insurance, our health care, and our tax policy. That's exactly what I will do if you elect me as your next governor. Principled solutions prioritize your best interests, not lobbyists. Paid for by Patrick Colbeck for governor.
warning signs.
At first, he made me feel special. He promised he'd look after me, provide for my future. He broke every promise he made.
Millions of Americans afflicted.
I was ready to leave, but he told me he'd change. So I gave him another chance. I was such a fool.
The consequences.
Things only got worse. He started making my decisions for me. About my job, my kids' education, my money, my safety, my future. He took away my choices, but I kept going back to the same politicians.
The diagnosis? Battered voter syndrome.
I fell for the same old lies. They were just playing with my emotions, telling me what I wanted to hear. That's not right.
If you're tired of the two-party system but want to support a principled Libertarian Party, check out the Libertarian Party of New Hampshire at lpnh.org. That's lpnh.org.
Here's a chance to do a little activism while you're cruising Facebook, Twitter, or Google+. Between the LOL cats, the recipes, the hot girls, and the inspirational sunrise memes, Free Talk Live's posts pass by your newsfeed. Like them, comment. It gives us more exposure. If you don't see our posts, click like at facebook.freetalklive.com and then hover over it to click Get Notifications. It's an easy way to spread the ideas of liberty a bit further. I know you're busy, but you can spare that 1/10 of a calorie it takes to click on something. facebook.freetalklive.com.
Should you be able to earn an honest living free from senseless government interference? The Institute for Justice thinks so. That's why we've spent years defending hard-working men and women from pointless government regulations. Nationwide, IJ has created opportunity by reducing government power. But there is still more work to be done. Visit our website today at ij.org. Let IJ take care of the government so you can take care of your business.
Join the LRN.FM Discord for live chat 24/7 at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm.
It's Free Talk Live. You can bring up what you want. You can take control of the airwaves. We were talking about Hollywood running out of ideas. You're certainly still welcome to comment on that if you want. That we're getting into a story about San Francisco tech companies going to be prohibited from giving their employees what is a pretty sweet perk, free food. You can
better believe it.
Go to this cafeteria and just eat to your heart's content. These are these ginormous kind of campuses, as they're called. Now, they're not workplaces. They're campuses now, and that's where they hire these people in, and they give them like a bunch of free crap and like games they can play, and it's basically they've got a bunch of kids.
Ian, some of these places you got to feed the dogs. Otherwise, you're going to get home one day and your dogs are going to be on the neighbor's porch.
Well, yeah, they got to provide all these benefits, or else they'll go somewhere else.
Every job has its quirks, and it sounds like these guys are throwing the food out there because it works.
But now, if for whatever reason you want to open your business in San Francisco and pay the insane rents or property values in order to do that, you will be prohibited. And not just San Francisco, you said in multiple cities around that area.
Multiple Bay Area cities. And again, article from Business Insider says when Facebook moves into a new complex in the city of Mountain View into an area called The Village, workers will not be able to enjoy a beloved perk, cafeterias with unlimited breakfast, lunch, and supper. The city of Mountain View prohibits companies from fully subsidizing meals in the village, and the rule could spread to other Bay Area cities in the future. Free food is a popular benefit at tech companies throughout San Francisco and Silicon Valley. This week, San Francisco legislators proposed a similar restriction, which, if passed, would adjust zoning laws to ban new construction of on-site workplace cafeterias. The ban would not be retroactive, however, so companies like Google that currently have the on-site cafeterias would get to keep theirs.
But wait a minute, so they're prohibiting cafeterias, period, not just free cafeterias. They're saying you cannot have a cafeteria.
The proposal in San Francisco would ban tech companies from having an on-site cafeteria.
Period. Okay, so this has nothing to do with the fact that it's a bonus. You couldn't even have a cafeteria and charge people at the cafeteria.
Right, and again, we're talking about the proposal in San Francisco, which prohibits the on-site cafeteria. The current law in the city of Mountain View, which is near San Francisco, prohibits companies from subsidizing meals.
I see.
In the cafeteria. You can have the cafeteria, you just can't give it to them for free in Mountain View. The proposal in San Francisco is you can't even have the cafeteria.
All right, so what is the reason for this?
In both places, supporters of the restriction argue that the cafeterias take away business from local restaurants and cafes because they discourage workers from leaving their offices. Harry Glasser, co-founder of data visualization startup Periscope Data, argues that banning workplace cafeterias in the Bay Area might not be such a bad idea.
Wow, man.
He says tech workers have a tendency to live in a bubble, making it easy for them to not engage with others in the city. Quote, in San Francisco, the supervisors are worried about what we call app culture, which is tech employees take a private bus to work, get off the bus, eat lunch in the cafeteria at work, get back on the bus, go home, then order dinner from an app.
So
why is it their business?
They're mad that people are not socializing.
It's the candle makers petition all over again, but instead of the candle makers, it's the sandwich makers.
Well, they're claiming this is going to be good for the employees because they're going to have to go out into the rest of the world.
No. Not it's good for you as the employee of Twitter or Facebook.
Yeah.
No. It's good for the company down the street that sells lunch.
That's true, too.
Yeah, but that's not what you just read. What you just read is you have do-gooding central planners who are afraid that these people live in a bubble and they're not getting out, they're not being social, they're not meeting new people, and it's bad for your health.
In both places, supporters of the restriction argue that the cafeterias take away from local restaurants and cafes.
They're arguing both.
And
Darryl
then
said both of those things.
One of the guys that runs a tech company says that the supervisors are worried about what's called the app culture, where you take a private bus to work.
The supervisors or the government who's worried about it?
I think the city council in San Francisco might be called supervisors. Like some places have aldermen.
Supervisors.
In Pennsylvania, they don't have a town selectman. They call them town supervisors.
Right. Supervisor, like somebody who's placed over a group of children.
Quote, the supervisors are worried about what they call app culture, where tech employees take a private bus to work, get off the bus, eat in the cafeteria, get back on the bus, go home, then order food from an app. And so, while they're living in a community, they're not engaging in the community. And I think that's unfortunate.
So we're going to force them to engage in the community by having them talk to a cashier, who will eventually be replaced by a machine.
Hey, and you know what we should do while we're at it? We should have the military with shotguns guarding, walking up and down the street, preventing these new restaurants that are getting all this new business from jacking up the prices of their sandwiches.
In Venezuela.
Yeah, like in Venezuela.
While Periscope Data does not have an on-site cafeteria, the company caters all of its food from local businesses, which Glasser sees as a better alternative to hiring an in-house chef or working with a non-local supplier. He added that he thinks it's positive that the Bay Area is having an open conversation about how tech companies affect their cities, for better or for worse.
You know, in the chat room, Big Ben in Canada brought up a very good point. Maybe these techies, maybe these employees aren't leaving their bubble because they don't want to walk out in the streets and step in a big pile of crap, because that's San Francisco, man. That's their thing.
People are just taking dumps in the streets there?
They have apps. They have phone apps.
For what?
For
taking
feces.
Poop?
For poop on the streets. You see some poop, you mark it on your app.
You're reporting it?
Yeah, you report the poop.
We're talking human poop, animal poop.
Human poop.
All right. Glasser continues, I do think it's reasonable for the community to expect us to engage, whether that's voting, volunteering, or buying lunch at an independent cafe down the street. This guy, wow. This is a guy that runs a business, and he's like, oh, yeah, come on, just force me to do whatever you think is good, because I like...
Wait, who is Glazer?
He's the guy that runs Periscope Data, which is a tech company.
But that was the one
San Francisco.
That was the one that is already going to the... there was one company you mentioned that's already going to the local businesses, the local restaurants.
That's the guy.
Yeah, so of course he's happy about it.
Right.
He doesn't have a cafeteria. So
right, he doesn't want one because, and that's why he's trying to get them to force everybody else. I do this, so everybody else should do this, and I'm going to force it through legislation.
Right, he doesn't have a cafeteria in his business, so he has to pay more right? So this guy's paying more for catering or large orders or whatever at local businesses as compared to if you hire a cafeteria company. They get all the food from Cisco on the truck right there. It's more economic.
Yeah,
they're
the
making
company
big batches.
caters all of its food from local businesses.
Yeah, he's paying more, so he's not as competitive to being able to hire these young people that just want to stay in this one place and eat at the one place and go home, and the app culture is what you're talking about here.
Right.
Look, you're not going to be able to stop this, okay? If the idea is that you're going to stop app culture, which is a new term for me, but interesting. If you think you're going to stop this by forcing employees to go out and go to Taco Bell so they can order from somebody who's standing behind a counter, and that's considered socializing now? That's socializing? That's engaging in your community? Is you're ordering from McDonald's? Last time I was at a McDonald's...
Yeah, meanwhile, you're swiping your card... You're talking to an order machine.
That's what I'm saying. Last time I was at McDonald's, they had those machines. It was in Massachusetts.
Mark the whole time you're standing there in line, you're on your phone still.
Sure.
Having a conversation with your...
Well, I actually had a conversation with a guy in McDonald's. It was because he needed help with the machine. Yep. So he asked me to help him with the machine.
What was his age, by the way? Young guy?
Young. Maybe 20.
Interesting.
21 years old. Mark thought maybe he couldn't read. Was why he was asking me to kind of show him how to order on this
I was
machine.
thinking about that.
Because it's not a complicated machine.
So we're always making fun of the boomers and how they can't set the digital clock on their VCR and it's always going to blink 12. I know how to do all that, and I usually, get her done. How many of the millennials and snowflakes know how to do all those things?
What, set a VCR?
Yeah.
Well, nobody has VCRs anymore.
Or could drive stick. I mean, there's so many things that millennials...
I learned on stick, but it's been a long time.
Yeah, there's so many things that I think they can't do anymore because it's taken care of by some phone app.
Yeah, that's true.
They can't count. They can't do math. They can't do simple math. They can't count currency. It's all done. It's all flick of a button.
Well, in their defense, there's a lot of people that are basically our age that can't count.
They can't type. My daughter can't type.
What?
Yeah, she looks like an eagle. She can she can text 200 friggin' words a minute. But she looks like an eagle sitting there over top of a keyboard.
If you like that stuff, Conan, you ought to check out the Kids React on the React channel.
We've talked about this before. It's good stuff.
They just don't know what they're doing. It's amazing watching those things. It's hilarious.
I'm more and more. The Zennials and the late millennials. We got it. The analog versus the digital. We had that transition. We are the saving grace of this world.
We got more on the way here. Hour number 3 is next. You can take control of the airwaves, bring up what you want on Free Talk Live.
Long distance travel or long hours in front of a computer can take its toll on your body.
Get relief for your neck or back pain when you search Amazon for Sunshine Pillows, heating wraps, and pads, often listed as an Amazon choice.
Why take another pill?
Now, from Sunny Bay and by customer demand, we introduce our extra long neck heating wrap, a complete wrap, wide and hands-free, and brings fast relief to those who suffer from neck or back pain.
You can easily find Sunshine Pillows on Amazon.
Or search Amazon for our new Sunny Bay disposable heat pads. Or look for Sunny Bay heated neck wraps for relief from back pain to menstrual pain and cramps.
Sometimes life can be a pain in the neck, or back, or shoulder.
See why our company, Biomed DB Design, has a lifetime 100% positive rating on both Amazon and Etsy. Just go to Amazon.com and search Sunny Bay, or call us 253-678-1361.
Radio is the most personal of mediums. I exist right now in your head. If you listen to Free Talk Live regularly, you know me. Free Talk Live is on more than 160 radio stations around the U.S. and has been downloaded on every continent around the world. Hundreds of thousands of listeners with ad packages from $600 a month to $6,000 a month. Imagine what we can do for your business, project, website, or idea. Email me, mark@freetalklive.com.
So you've heard all 3 hours of the latest episode of Free Talk Live, and you're still hungry for liberty-oriented audio content? Did you know that we have another 24/7 audio stream at LRN.FM? The Liberty Radio Network airs the latest episodes of some of the best liberty-oriented podcasts on the internet around the clock. In addition to recorded content, you'll also hear live shows like Free Talk Live, originating from our Keene, New Hampshire studio. So listen anytime at LRN.FM. That's LRN.FM.
You're listening to the live edition of Free Talk Live. Hour number 3 is next after the news here on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
From Keene in the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Darryl W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Wednesday, August 8th, 2018. Silver is trading at $15.33 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,210 per ounce. Zencash is trading at $21, and the average price of Bitcoin is $6,501. Antiwar.com reports tensions between Saudi Arabia and Canada are soaring since a Friday statement in which Canada expressed serious concerns about Saudi Arabia arresting human rights activists. On Monday, Saudi Arabia expelled Canadian Ambassador Dennis Horrick. Saudi officials announced that they are suspending all flights to Toronto, freezing all new trade and investments in Canada, and are ending educational exchanges and are retaining its rights to take further actions against them. Trade between Canada and Saudi Arabia are limited at any rate. Canada buys some petrochemicals from the Saudis, and the Saudis have a deal with a Canadian unit of U.S. arms maker General Dynamics on armored vehicles. The Canadian Foreign Ministry does not appear to be backing down, saying they will continue to stand up for human rights and freedom of expression around the world. While the Saudis have relied on their international economic influence to throw their weight around in diplomatic disagreements, they are almost certainly not going to be able to drum up anti-Canadian sentiment to a great extent. Zencash is the world's first private, distributed, and reliable platform for communications, transactions, and publishing. Zencash has the ability to use both transparent and shielded transactions, with shielded transactions using zero-knowledge proofs. Zencash features global governance with inclusive decision-making, reliable funding for continuous improvements, and documentation and wallets in many languages that are available for Linux, Mac, Windows, and Android devices. Learn more at zencash.com. That's zencash.com. UPI reports a federal court ruled Tuesday that the mother of a teenager killed in Mexico by a U.S. Border Patrol agent shooting from across the border in Arizona can sue for damages. The Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals issued a 2-1 ruling denying Border Patrol agent Lonnie Schwartz qualified immunity, stating 16-year-old Jose Antonio Alana Rodriguez was protected against unreasonable searches and seizures, even though he was shot and killed in Mexico. Judge Andrew Kleinfeld wrote, based on the facts alleged in the complaint, Schwartz violated the Fourth Amendment. It is inconceivable that any reasonable officer could have thought that he or she could kill J.A. for no reason. Thus, Schwartz lacks qualified immunity. Schwartz was found not guilty in April of second-degree murder for the 2012 shooting, and a retrial is set to take place in October. In the criminal case, Schwartz said he was acting in self-defense against people throwing rocks through a border fence in Nogales, Arizona, when he shot Rodriguez in the back 10 times. Araceli Rodriguez, Jose's mother, argued her son was innocently walking down a street in Mexico and was not throwing rocks or engaging in any other illegal activity. To allow Rodriguez's mother to sue for damages, the Ninth Circuit Court ruled to extend the U.S. Supreme Court ruling of Bivens v. 6 unknown named agents of the Federal Bureau of Narcotics, which held that a civil lawsuit can be filed against the federal government officials who violate the Fourth Amendment. You can support FPP Radio by joining the Fans program. Fans are friends, allies, and numerous supporters. You can join the Fans program for as little as $1 per month through Patreon and get perks like ad-free versions of FPP Radio News and Peace, Love, Liberty Radio. To learn more or to join the Fans program, visit fans.fppradio.com. Reuters reports a trial in which a school groundskeeper alleged that his use of Monsanto's Roundup weed killer caused his terminal cancer will go to a California jury after lawyers for both sides delivered their closing arguments on Tuesday. Groundskeeper Dwayne Johnson is one of more than 5,000 plaintiffs across the United States who claim Monsanto's glyphosate-containing herbicides, including the widely used Roundup, cause cancer. His case, the first to go to trial, began in San Francisco's Superior Court of California 4 weeks ago. Johnson's lawyer, Brent Wisner, claimed Monsanto knew about glyphosate's cancer risk but decided to bury the information. Monsanto, a unit of Bayer AG, following a $62.5 billion acquisition by the German conglomerate, denies the allegation and says expert testimony on which Johnson and others rely does not satisfy any scientific or legal requirements. The US EPA in September 2017 concluded a decades-long assessment of glyphosate risk and found the chemical not likely carcinogenic to humans. The World Health Organization's cancer arm in 2018 2015 classified glyphosate as probably carcinogenic to humans. The jury, which is expected to start deliberating on Wednesday, can decide to award punitive damages on top of the more than $39 million in compensatory damages Johnson is seeking. This has been FPP Radio News. Online at fppradio.com.
Months after identifying the elusive Higgs boson particle, scientists at CERN in Geneva, Switzerland have announced that they've completely run out of things to do with their Large Hadron Collider.
We've tried some time travel stuff, but it doesn't really work. Black holes, but we already know like a ton about those. Last week we threw a bird in there. Honestly, we thought it would take way longer to find the Higgs boson.
Director General of CERN, Rolf Dieter Hauer, told reporters that while they, quote, might be able to figure out some more about quarks or something, for the most part, his team has spent much of the past year throwing pennies into the machine and turning it on to see if the pennies come out smushed.
We might just start building a larger hadron collider. Yeah, maybe a bigger collider for smaller hadrons or something. I don't know.
CERN has announced on their website that if anyone out there has any fun ideas for experiments, you can email them to ideas@largehadroncollider.com.
This is the Onion News Network.
Free Talk Live. This is Free Talk Live, and we're launching into the third hour of the program. You can take control of the airwaves here if you want. The toll-free number, 855-450, free like freedom, 855-450-3733. We've got on-air call-in lines for Discord chat over at discord.lrn.fm. If you don't know what Discord is, it is a free chat service. We've got a server that's up 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. There's different rooms in which you can chat there. There's the Free Talk Live room, which is the busiest, obviously, during our live show, which is 7 to 10 at night Eastern Time, 7 nights per week. But there are other chat rooms in there. And if you want to join us on the radio, there's the top 3 rooms are the on-air call-in lines. You can just hop into any one of those, and we will join you, or you will join us on the air to talk about what you want. The us in studio tonight is Ian.
And Conan.
And Darryl.
Darryl, there was more to the story here for listeners just tuning in that you wanted to share out of the San Francisco Bay Area, where different cities are cracking down on tech companies and not allowing them to build a cafeteria. So if you're going to build a new campus, as they call them,
right?
Say Facebook, I guess, was planning to open up one in, I think, Mountain View or San Francisco.
Mountain View's The Village.
That's what they're going to call it. Was it going to be called Facebook's The Village, or was
I think
Facebook
that's
opening
the area of the city of Mountain View
in which Facebook will open, purportedly. So they're telling Facebook and these other companies, if you're going to open a new facility, you cannot have a cafeteria at all.
Right.
Oh, no, that was San Francisco.
That there's different proposals. So. And
but I thought these are these passed, or are these proposals?
So in San Francisco, there is a proposal.
Okay.
That would prohibit a cafeteria.
Any cafeteria on a company's campus.
In Mountain View, they have a law that prohibits the company from subsidizing meals in a cafeteria.
So presumably they could sell the meal at cost.
In theory, and again, neither one of us have pulled up Mountain View's ordinances to read what it is. The article
and the claimed reason for this in the case of Mountain View is they want to drive business into the hands of restaurants.
Well, that's the claim in both places. Is we want the workers to leave the facility and go be part of the community and buy from local businesses and help support the community that they live in.
Right.
And defeat app culture.
Which is a new term for me, although I guess it's been floating around since like 2010, according to a Google search. I was looking to see, is there any news about this app culture? And really most of the articles come from like 2010, 2011, several years ago. But the idea being that to paraphrase what one of the commentators put it on this story, was that the person at this tech company takes a private bus into the tech company
or an Uber.
Then they work on, well, it's probably the big companies probably have their own buses that they send around.
The quote that you're citing was from a guy that runs a tech company that does not have a cafeteria.
And he was saying
site.
this will be good for these employees because then they won't have to, they'll have to leave the campus in order to go and get their lunch.
Right, while also saying that he caters food from local businesses.
Meaning he brings food into his
That's what it sounds like.
And then you get to meet the caterer. You get to meet the waitress or whatever.
And this techie might get out there and like run into a woman and maybe get into a relationship and then have babies. And then we can fix the whole Ponzi scheme that is Social Security and Medicare by creating a more bigger base to take care of all these oldsters who are all retiring this year and next year and this decade.
The law in Mountain View as well as the proposal in San Francisco is part of a larger debate about how large tech companies may have contributed to urban issues like homelessness, high housing prices, and traffic.
Poop in the street.
Mountain View, Cupertino, and San Francisco, California are now considering head taxes, which would tax big businesses based on the number of employees. The revenue would go towards projects that address transportation and housing issues. And that's the thing that was proposed in Seattle that
we talked about
I
head
believe
tax.
wound up actually getting shut down.
Oh, thank goodness.
Yeah.
Came to the
because it's just going to drive business out of the city. They're just going to locate themselves in the nearby towns that don't have that crap.
One of the, I think there's 2 socialist members of Seattle's city council,
actual socialists.
No, avowed socialist, not just that guy's a socialist. These people say I am a socialist.
That's right.
One of the 2 said that the city wound up bowing to pressure from Amazon.
Who was going to leave.
Yep.
Yeah.
Amazon was like, we're packing up if you guys pass this head tax.
In San Francisco's mid-market neighborhood, local food retailers have especially struggled to gain foot traffic because of the prevalence of free workplace meals, according to Gwyneth Borden, executive director of the Golden Gate Restaurant Association. Twitter, which as of 2015 employed about 2,000 employees in San Francisco and is one of the biggest tech employers in the mid-market area, opened its headquarters in the neighborhood in 2012. Since the new rule would not apply to existing on-site cafeterias, Twitter would not be affected, and other tech companies like it, only if they decide to expand their footprint in the city. Twitter declined to comment, as did Facebook.
Why should they say anything about it? I mean, they are more competitive now because of this new rule, if it passes in San Francisco, and there's no reason it won't. It's San Francisco, so you can pretty much figure this one's a done deal. But they've got more bargaining posture now. Now, when a tech person is looking at a job in San Francisco, if they're looking at Twitter and they're looking at Facebook, all other things being equal, you get free lunch at Twitter, free breakfast, free dinner, and you don't get that at the new Facebook facility if this goes through.
Facebook says that they chose the location of that new Mountain View facility, quote, because of the proximity to public transit, housing, shops, and restaurants.
There you go.
By the way, point of correction, we were talking about the poop map.
Yeah, the San Francisco poop map.
You were talking about that.
Well, I mean, I looked it up to see if it's real, and it was real. There was a web developer who created it to help poop cleaners find the poop. So you would identify where the poop is at, and then they'd be able to go out there and grab it. However,
they cleaned up all the poop, so we don't need the app anymore.
No, that wasn't happening at all. They couldn't keep up. However, there were political types, and they leaned right, like Rush Limbaugh, who were taking this and they were using it as an example of this is what your socialism does. This is what it looks like. This is your liberalism. Blah, 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 blah. And so they stopped updating it. It's just sitting there. So it hasn't been updated.
So the map's still there. But
the map is still there. Has been updated since 2015.
But so it's not crowdsourced then? They must have just shut the app down or something, right?
She decided to keep it there. I don't know why
they must have shut the server down, because if it was running on a server and the apps were connecting and people were reporting.
No, I don't think it was ever an app, but it was most definitely an interactive map.
It was just a website that people could use.
The project is called.
So they're probably doing something on like Open Street View.
The project is called Human Wasteland, and it's still up. It's neat. It's neat to look at.
Fun stuff. All right. So if you want to join us on the radio here, the toll-free number is 855-450-FREE, 855-450-3733. Of course, Silicon Valley, to tie this back into pop culture.
Also a highly rated TV series that Conan, original or no?
That's original.
Pretty original, yeah.
All right, but it's based on real life.
Actually, it's kind of it's good. It's good stuff. Silicon Valley's good.
Silicon Valley's hilarious. Highly recommend that. If you like Mike Judge, if you like Beavis and Butthead, if you like King of the Hill, if you liked Office Space, if you like any Mike Judge, you're gonna love Silicon Valley, and it's got all the humor based around that tech culture.
So if you've got any nerd in you, if you suffer autism like all of us in this room, some sort of Asperger's.
I don't suffer from it.
I don't pass the autism test.
But didn't they
but you have no empathy. You're
that is not true at all.
I don't
score as autistic.
You're Asperger's all the way.
So
I don't score on the Asperger's test.
That Silicon Valley, they mentioned some kind of ICO about something, Pied Piper coin, and then somebody created the token, and you have some. How's it doing?
I got the airdrop.
I missed it by a week.
It's not doing so great. It's only worth my airdrop's only worth about $20 right now.
It's a collector's item.
You got some. At like $700 though. I didn't sell it because I don't know what I'm doing when it comes to crypto, so don't follow any of my advice. I just hold on to it and hope for the best. All right, more coming up here. 855-450-FREE, 855-450-3733. Maybe a little bit about Alex Jones and the crackdown against his social media platforms on the way here. You can take control and bring up what you want on Free Talk Live.
Zencash is an end-to-end encrypted system with zero-knowledge technology over which communications, data, or value can be securely transmitted and stored. With over 13,000 secure nodes, Zencash has one of the most distributed secure node systems of any cryptocurrency, and Zencash now has supernodes. Supernodes will bring network, economic, and technical improvements across the network. And the official Zencash wallet is available on Linux, Mac, Windows, and Android devices. Learn more at zencash.com, zencash.com.
What's more profitable, running your business or doing bookkeeping? Doing your business, of course, but you want to keep your books so that you can maximize your tax savings, right? What if I told you that there's a person that's a bookkeeper, accountant, and law school graduate that's also a hardcore libertarian?
My name is Melanie Johnson, and I hate the state. I will aggressively help you to minimize your tax exposure and maximize profits, all while staying within the law.
Melanie's your best choice for your taxes and bookkeeping needs. Go to tax.freetalklive.com and check out our website, tax.freetalklive.com. Do you operate a retail business and are looking for a solution for point-of-sale cryptocurrency acceptance? It's never been easier thanks to AnyPay.Global. There's no paperwork or approval process to open an account. If you already have a tablet at your cash register, you're almost done. Just sign up at AnyPay.Global. Drop your personal crypto wallet addresses in our setup page, and then load our app. That's it. You're accepting cryptocurrency like Bitcoin and Dash at your store. Get started now at AnyPay.Global. That's AnyPay.Global.
The Bitcoin.com wallet is a simple and powerful full-featured wallet that allows you to send and receive Bitcoin, BTC, and Bitcoin Cash, BCH, with anyone, anywhere in the world. It supports both single and multi-signature wallets and is available in multiple languages. The Bitcoin.com wallet is available on Windows, Linux, Mac, Android, and iOS devices. Use the Bitcoin.com wallet to buy, send, store, and receive both Bitcoin, BTC, and Bitcoin Cash, BCH. Learn more at wallet.bitcoin.com. That's wallet.bitcoin.com.
Why did you move to the Shire?
I moved here to the Shire because there's other people around who take liberty just as seriously as I do.
I moved to the Shire because I saw videos of people challenging authority and thought that I could get support myself. It called to me, like, do this right now.
I wanted to be around people like me who got it, and once I got here, I knew there was nowhere else that I wanted to be.
I've always wanted to change the world, so I moved to the Shire to join people who were actually working towards doing the same thing.
The people here are awesome, loving, and positive. It was for the adventure and for the feeling of something important is happening here, and I just wanted to come to sort of be part of that.
Visit ShireSociety.com to read and sign the Shire Society Declaration and learn the reasons why, if you love liberty, you should immigrate to the Shire. Plus, add yourself to the Shire map at ShireSociety.com. That's ShireSociety.com.
LRN.FM is proud to announce our official listening apps for Android and iOS devices.
Now you can easily tune into our streams anywhere, anytime on your smartphone or tablet. Just visit apps.lrn.fm or search for lrn.fm in the Android or Apple app stores. Please download, rate us 5 stars, then share the link on your social media and let your friends and family know how you're listening to lrn.fm. Download it now, free at apps.lrn.fm.
This Your Family Today tip is brought to you by Nestle Toll House Morsels, helping you create special moments and memories your family will cherish forever. Visit us at tollhouse.com. You may bake for birthdays and holidays, but why stop there? Sweeten up the rest of the year by designating monthly dessert days. Treat your family to one of their favorites or surprise them with something new. Either way, you'll create a tradition everyone will love. For more tips like these, visit us at parenthood.com/yourfamilytoday.
You're listening to the best liberty-oriented audio streamed around the clock, on the air, and online. This is the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
Talk Live. You dial toll-free, take control of the airwaves here. Our toll-free number is 855-450-FREE like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. We've got Skype as well. Skype username is lrn.fm. And I want you to know about the crypto tip. It is a printable cryptocurrency tip and now available in Bitcoin Cash. So it started with Dash when we were doing our beta. Technically, it's still in beta. There might still be a bug somewhere, but I think we've squashed most of them. Go to cryptotip.org, and you can print out as many tips as you can afford to. And you leave the tips at places in which you might leave a tip, but you would want to leave it on top of a good cash tip. That way, whoever the server is actually takes you seriously instead of looks at it as an insult, not knowing what it is. So you leave a good cash tip, you leave the crypto tip on top of that. Say you maybe give them $10 worth of Bitcoin Cash, and you're thinking, oh my God, that's a lot of money. It could really add up. Well, it turns out most people aren't going to cash it in because they don't know what it is, and they don't want to take the time to find out, even if you're giving them a good tip. So when I leave these things, it's like maybe 1 out of 10, 1 out of 20 actually ends up getting redeemed.
And you're leaving these at crypto accepting businesses as well, right?
Most of the time, no. No, I'm usually leaving them at places where we've got like wait staff and they're not accepting cryptocurrency there. But anyway, it's a great little outreach tool, and it makes it super easy to give people cryptocurrency. Maybe it's somebody you know. Maybe it is a loved one, a birthday present, or a stocking stuffer, or whatever. Perfect way to do it is with the crypto tip. And you can do it for free if you want, or you can send a donation to the site. And Darryl, I did have Michael, the programmer, add the 2.5% donation option, which we had talked about as well. So now there's a midpoint between 0 and 5%. You can select your tip there if you want. And again, as I say, you can print out as many of these things as you want to, and it's free if you want, over at cryptotip.org, now with Bitcoin Cash. As we go to your calls, your thoughts, Ian, Conan, and Darryl in the studio tonight. Let's start with Dodger in Michigan. Dodger, you're on Free Talk Live listening to LRN.FM.
Yes. First off, Mike Judge, I think that he's brilliant. I've liked everything that he's ever done, so I'm pretty sure that I'd like Silicon Valley.
Yep.
But one thing that I thought about, you were talking about the business owner that was catered his stuff out, and he was talking about like the app generation or whatever.
The app
culture.
culture.
The fact is there app culture. That's it. Well, I mean, they're just going to start using their Grub. I'm not sure if you guys have Grubhub there in Keene, but it's kind of a big deal.
Describe what it is.
Metro area.
Describe what it is. Grubhub.
Grubhub. It's essentially, even if a place doesn't deliver, if you can. It's an app on your phone where you can order. I mean, the restaurant I work with, we don't deliver, but we deal with Grubhub. It's essentially Uber for food delivery.
So it's like Uber Eats, but a different company.
I think Uber Eats was their version of Grubhub. I think Grubhub came first, right?
I'm not 100% sure. I just
think
know
so.
that it's kind of become, and so...
This is an old idea, just a new spin on an old idea. I remember a decade ago, there was a company, in Sarasota, or I guess been more than a decade since I've been there, but in Florida, when I lived down there was a company that had like a list of menus that they would go to these restaurants and pick up whatever it is you wanted them to pick up and deliver it to your house. Now they've got an app for it. That's basically all that's changed.
I don't think that the politician who has created this, or who has suggested this new legislation / ordinance or whatever it is, even understands what Grubhub is, or understands that the marketplace will correct itself.
But see, Conan, then at least they're spending their money in the community.
Huh?
Well, I was more talking about the guy that was talking about the app culture.
Right.
These new people, they're just going to use another app to do what they, if that's what the market calls for. And I just can't believe that city ordinance, I mean, it's just protectionism 101. This is just crony capitalism.
Of course, they're saying that the reason they need it...
protect the restaurants, right?
Yeah, they're saying we need this to protect the restaurant. That's why I said if they're using Grubhub, they're still buying food from a restaurant, which is what the city supervisors want.
Right.
They want people spending money at local businesses. It's the sandwich makers petition instead of the candle makers petition.
Yep, I agree.
And we have the same exact problem right here in our own city of Keene.
What's the problem here?
Their whole spiel these days for this whole last year is all about the economic growth of Keene, and we've got to bring more businesses, and
all while they're raising property taxes.
That'll fix all of our problems. And then there's the whole myth of buying local. Mm-hmm. And of course, they never like me when I get on because I sell on Amazon. I sell to the whole. I sell books to everybody in the country, and so I'm killing the bookstore here in Keene.
If you take buy local to its logical conclusion, then nobody in New Hampshire can ever drink coffee.
Yep, and we can all our sugar is only maple sugar. Sugar.
You can only use maple syrup to sweeten your food and beverages,
and it can't be coffee.
Well, right, and how local is local? Should I only buy from my neighborhood?
You can't buy bananas. Yeah. You can't buy plantains.
Right. Yeah, it's ridiculous. Here's
avocados, man. I would really be lost without avocados.
Yeah, and they only come from California,
Mexico.
And I think Florida might. Yeah, I think like 90% of them come from California.
I bet you there's a lot in Mexico as well. But Dodger, anything else you want to share tonight?
Nope, I'm good. You guys have a good night.
Thanks for the call. Appreciate it. Let's talk to Kathy. She's in Tucson, Arizona. Kathy, you're on Free Talk Live, listening online. Go ahead.
Hi. I lived in Venezuela from 1979 through 1981.
Okay, interesting. The good years.
Yeah, they were good years. Yeah, we were upper class there. We lived in a condo, and we could see the whole city from there. And someone pointed out to me that there was that it predicts. My neighbor predicted that exactly what's going on now was going to happen. Absolutely,
really?
Yes.
Way back in the 80s.
We were, 79 through 81. The Bolivar was 4 to the dollar. It was locked to the dollar. It was firm. It was about 25 cents. But the thing is, we were the upper class. We were like 10%. Mm-hmm. The lower class lived in little shacks on the hills in the favela, like the Brazilian favelas, were 85% of the population, and it was a 5% middle class. So if people wanted to get a better house, or they saved up the money to get a better house or something, they couldn't do it. It was not possible.
You're saying the real estate wasn't there. They couldn't even upgrade.
Yeah, the housing. You're right. The housing was not there. All the money went up to the United States. If you wanted to mail, I saw this coming. If you wanted to mail a letter from one end of town to the other, you had a messenger take it to the airport, sent it up to Miami to a postal service, and then Miami sent it back down, gave it to another messenger, and it would get there in 3 days. Otherwise, within Caracas itself, it took 30 days.
Unbelievable.
It was weird. Somebody pointed out.
Kathy, if you want to share more, you can hang on. We'll bring you back here for that. The toll-free number is 855-450-FREE, and I'm curious if Kathy still knows anybody living in Venezuela or trying to survive there today.
Hey, Dave. You in for golf this weekend?
I can't. I promised I'd find a plumber to fix a sink and a painter to paint the...
Just use Angie's List.
Doesn't that cost money?
Not at all. It's free to find pros in your area who can do the work. You can even read ratings and reviews from other customers.
What about roofing pros?
Angie's List has pros for everything. And to save time, they'll even match you to the best pros for the job.
Oh, that's awesome. Looks like I'll be able to play after all.
Find the best pros for your next project at angieslist.com.
This is Jessica Armand, creator of the fluoride-free oral care brand My Magic Mud. You're going to love our new products. Our cutting-edge oral rinses deeply soothe your mouth and fight cavities naturally. Our breath spray, My Magic Mist, will invigorate your senses with essential oils of peppermint and eucalyptus. Our clinically proven toothpaste and tooth powders whiten your teeth and detoxify your mouth. Buy discounted bundles direct at mymagicmud.com and take 10% off with coupon code GCN10. mymagicmud.com.
So the protection of life, liberty, and property is what the Free State Project is all about. But it's an effort to move 20,000 people who understand.
It's about demonstrating to the entire country
that, yeah, we can have a free market, a truly free market.
Making it just a freer, great place to live.
It's the world's largest voluntarist libertarian community, and it's only getting bigger.
That's amazing, to be able to move to a place where other people passionately believe in being free and independent.
What the Free State Project is managing to do, though, is to put their money where their mouth is. It's physically getting up across the country and saying, let's go someplace and let's demonstrate the power of these ideas. There's a lot of kind of philosophy that surrounds liberty. There's a lot of thinking about it and talking about it. But here in New Hampshire, people are doing it.
101 Reasons Liberty Lives in New Hampshire, a documentary by Free State Project Early Movers. Watch it free at 101reasonsfilm.com. 101reasonsfilm.com. What do you shop for that you could otherwise buy at Amazon? Pretty much everything, right? Amazon has competitive pricing and they deliver, and that's a big plus. If you could plan ahead in your shopping, would you be interested in saving up to 33%? There's a catch. You have to do your shopping in Bitcoin. But imagine those savings. It's like a huge raise. All you have to do is go to saveatpurse.com. We've saved thousands, and you can too. Plan ahead and save. SaveAtPurse.com. There are lots of ways to listen to Free Talk Live. Our podcast has been around since podcasts began, and now the FTL feed is loaded with content besides our full show archives. Did you know that we make it easy for you to customize your podcast subscriptions? We have different feeds, one that includes only our full shows, one with just the Daily Digest, and one with just the Edgington Post. You decide what you listen to. It's quick and easy to customize your feeds at feeds.freetalklive.com. That's feeds.freetalklive.com.
If you're looking for work, the person you are applying to may be even more nervous than you are. And the way things are now, your references have never been more important. Here are 3 tips. First, know that employers are checking. Every hire is under the microscope these days. Second, they won't just be checking references you provide. Figure that all of your ex-employers will get a call and be asked, would you hire him or her again? Third, assume you will be Googled. So before you apply, remove all those party animal photos from your Facebook page. Even if you're not in the job market, effective communication skills have never been more important, with money and attention so scarce now. For more tips for job seekers and getting better results in all your day-to-day communication, hit survivalspeech.com. I'm Holland Cook.
Do you love Twitter? Make sure you favorite the LRN.FM Twitter account so you can receive our tweets at twitter.lrn.fm. That's twitter.lrn.fm.
It's Free Talk Live. You can bring up whatever you want. The toll-free number here is 855-450-FREE like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. Discord on-air call-in line rooms are available to you over at discord.lrn.fm. It's a high-quality way to connect to the show and sound almost like you're sitting here in the studio with me, Ian.
And Conan.
And Darryl.
We're going to go back to your calls and thoughts, but I do want you to know about AnyPay.global. If you are a retailer, if you're a retail manager or a retail owner, and you've been looking for a way to accept cryptocurrency at your point of sale, we've got it for you. Anypay.global is where you go to get started, and it could not be any easier than this. They only require that you create a username and password. That's it. There's no filling out of forms. There's no government submission. There's no approval process. You just go and create your username and password. Then you get into the system. You drop your cryptocurrency addresses into the setup page. That's where you want your crypto to go that you're accepting from your customers, to the destination addresses, and you put the app on your point of sale device at the register. That's it. You're done. It's so easy. Go to anypay.global. You get started there. No hoops to jump through. It's so simple, and you can accept Bitcoin, Bitcoin Cash, Dash, Zcash, and a few more through anypay.global. As we go back to Kathy in Tucson, Arizona, saying she spent some time living in Venezuela back when things were a little bit more sane, but apparently there were still some serious problems. Kathy, you were there in the late 70s, early 80s, and I wanted to find out, do you still know anybody in Venezuela that you are connected with today?
I can... The last time I was able to contact anybody in Venezuela was actually about when Chavez took over. And after that, no mail delivery, couldn't get phone calls through, couldn't get anything through at all. And the thing I had wanted to point out is that the person who told me they saw it coming, they said, either you get eggs delivered to you or you deliver them. There's no two ways about it. The division between rich and poor was just so stupendous, and
it's probably even worse today. I mean, there's probably even fewer rich people, and probably no middle class or very little middle class left.
No, the rich people that I know of have somehow managed to wangle green cards through one thing or another and have
they've gotten out.
They've gotten out,
Anybody who can afford to get out of Venezuela, I would agree, should have by now likely have left that place, because you can't get food. You can't raise a family if you can't get antibiotics for your kids when they get sick.
No, and you can't. And I remember the last time I was down there, again, it was just before Chavez took over. But things were like a little bit crazy then. The Bolivar was almost 100, had gone to 100 to the dollar. And a friend of ours took us to the beach, and she was in a convertible, and we were just driving on the road going back home. She was taking us back home, and she went right to a red light. And I said to her, Coromoto, didn't you see the red light? And she waved at it. Hi! And I'm like, why did you stop? She said, if you stop for a red light, you're going to get attacked.
You get carjacked.
Yep.
Yeah.
Kathy, thanks for calling. Thanks for sharing that story tonight with us. I definitely appreciate hearing from you. Some scary stuff going on there in Venezuela. And as she points out, it's not just the government that's bad. It's, of course, the crime that's also brutal there in Venezuela. People having, phones just stolen right out of their hands by thugs on the streets. As she points out, you stop at a red light, you're at risk from a carjacking. If you're still fortunate enough to have a car that's operational, because most of the people in Venezuela can't even afford to repair their cars when they break down.
Right.
Because it's hard to get the parts, because nobody who would have been a parts supplier can afford to buy new parts, because they only have Bolivar, and you've got to pay the suppliers with dollars. Well, good luck getting the dollars. You've got to buy those on the black market, because you can't go into a bank and just get dollars, so that's impossible. I mean, it's just it's a crazy situation. That's why there was that story about the kennels, as they're calling them, because not even the government can continue to maintain their buses. So they've got trucks going around with cages on the back of them full of people, which is an incredibly dangerous way to ride in anything.
Yes.
So, yeah. Anyway, there's more here. Your calls. Let's continue with them. Parker is on the line in Washington State. Parker, you're on Free Talk Live. Go ahead.
Hey, guys.
Hey.
I'd like to talk a little bit tonight about the topic one of the topics that you were covering last night, which was Sarah Jong's racist tweet. But before I talk
about that... Did you call her Jones or Jung?
Jong, the New York Times editor or whatever.
With all the vicious Twitter tweets, white people are groveling goblins.
Yeah, that's the one. Anyway, Before I talk about that, I'd like to talk a little bit about this must-see documentary that is in theaters now. Well, I don't know if it's
a documentary in theaters? That's almost unheard of.
It's called Won't You Be My Neighbor, and it's about Fred Rogers and his Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood show, which, if I understand correctly, aired from the 1960s to the 2000s. So really good run.
Yeah.
Yep. But, Fred Rogers, with all the incredible insight and wisdom that he had, he was very much against race, or against racism.
Mm-hmm.
And you can tell, based on on some of the early episodes they had. And you have to wonder, if Fred Rogers was alive today, how would he deal with someone like Sarah Jong, or more specifically, with the seemingly ever-growing trend of racism against white people, but also just racism across the board?
Well, first of all, you have to realize that if it's a minority who is spouting out bigotries against other races, it's not. If it's against the oppressor, then it's not actually racism according to their definition. It's absolutely insane. But yeah, Jung doesn't believe that when she calls white people, white men, groveling goblins, she doesn't believe that that's racist. She believes that we are the oppressor, and that she is completely in her right to make that statement, and she believes that it's true.
So, but you did ask an interesting question, Parker, is what would Fred Rogers say about this? By the way, I'm looking at the Rotten Tomatoes, 99% fresh, according to Rotten Tomatoes, on this Won't You Be My Neighbor documentary.
Yeah, they knocked that out of the park.
So you've seen it?
Oh, yeah. It is an incredible movie.
And you say it's a documentary, so they're taking old scene. It's him. It's actually him. It's not like some actor playing him.
The wiki says it is actually him.
They definitely show some old interviews that Fred was in. But it's a great movie.
Well, I would like to believe, and I don't know anything about Mr. Rogers, his actual him as a person. But I would like to believe that he would condemn this type of these statements coming from a lot of Hollywood types, a lot of California liberals coming out with these statements. I think that he would stand up against. I would like to think that, but who knows? He might.
Oh, he definitely would. It's just a matter of how he would go about it. That's the question.
Yeah, it's interesting. Parker, anything else you want to share? Go ahead.
I don't know. I just thought I'd like to get your take on that.
It sounds like an interesting movie, and I thank you for recommending it to us. And again, it's hard to speculate on what somebody would say since they're no longer with us. I thank you for the call tonight. I appreciate
I know, right?
So Fred Rogers there, Won't You Be My Neighbor, according to the summary, a portrait of a man whom we all think we know. This emotional and moving film takes us beyond the zip-up cardigans and the land of make-believe and into the heart of a creative genius who inspired generations of children with compassion and limitless imagination. It is apparently in theaters as of early June, so check it out, I guess. More coming up here in moments. 855-450-FREE is our toll-free number. We got time for you on Free Talk Live.
This November, I'll be running the world's biggest and most popular marathon, the New York City Marathon, as a member of Team Innocence Project. The Innocence Project was the first legal organization to systematically apply DNA testing to cases of wrongful convictions as a powerful tool to reveal innocence. So far in 2018, the Innocence Network has welcomed 32 wrongfully convicted people home from prison for crimes they did not commit and had a record-breaking 850 people unite in Memphis at their annual conference. The movement of freeing the innocent and reforming the criminal justice system is growing and would not be possible without your support. Together as 68 network organizations around the world, they've helped exonerate 513 people who spent a combined total of 7,804 years in prison. They've also worked together to pass over 150 laws in the U.S. to help prevent wrongful convictions. You can support the Innocence Project by going to run.freetalklive.com. That's run.freetalklive.com.
Have you had credit challenges, divorce, bankruptcy, or just haven't established your credit yet? If so, getting a decent car loan can be tough. The good news is that there is a place where you can get a car loan at a fair price regardless of your credit situation. Auto Loan Express can make it happen now when you visit newcar99.com. Here's the deal. If you have a regular job, then there's no reason to keep taking the bus or repairing that old junker. Go to newcar99.com today and fill out our simple online application. We accept over 99% of applicants and can get you behind the wheel of your new car with just a few strokes of your keyboard. No hassles, no third degree. Just fill out the simple online application and start shopping for your next car. So when you're ready to get on the road with your new car loan, visit us online at newcar99.com, where we accept 99% of all applications. Newcar99.com. If you have a job, then you qualify. Here's to you and your new car. Visit newcar99.com. Newcar99.com.
Free Talk Live.
We've had people call this show in the past and posit that the declaration of a national emergency essentially opens up all of the loopholes that they can utilize that have been built into the Constitution. Because as Lysander Spooner would put it, the Constitution has either been powerless to prevent this big tyrannical government that we have today.
Sure, a government far beyond the scope that our founders ever, even in the wildest dreams imagined.
Or it has authorized the government that we have today.
I can only assume that that's true. I mean, I used to be this. I can only assume that it's the Constitution that in fact authorizes all of this crap that I thought at one point was unconstitutional. And we are, as I stated, still under a level of martial law that was declared for the Civil War. Everything they're doing is legal, as far as I can tell.
Free Talk Live, 7 nights a week from 7 to 10 Eastern, live on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
LRN.FM now has a Discord. Discord is a free text and voice chat platform, and we now have our own server with a bunch of channels at discord.lrn.fm. You can join other listeners as they chat about various things during our live shows, or anytime, day or night. Discord software is available cross-platform, so you can have it on whatever device you want and take your chats anywhere. Join our Discord at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm.
Looking for a great real estate investment? Consider New Hampshire, which is ground zero for the Liberty Movement. Your first call should be to Mark Worden from Porcupine Real Estate. He's more than just a real estate agent. He's your New Hampshire concierge. Where are the best places to live? Do you want farm, city, the burbs, or forest? Do you want a duplex or multifamily building so that renters pay your mortgage? There are homes in all price ranges in New Hampshire, and Mark can help with financing too. Invest in liberty and property. Mark Worden can help.
PorcupineRealEstate.com.
You can put the Liberty Radio Network on the air in your area. Visit broadcast.lrn.fm to learn how. Broadcast.lrn.fm.
It's Free Talk Live. Moments remain. Enough time for you if you dial in right now. Our number here is 855-450-FREE, like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. And we've got Discord, on-air call-in lines over on our Discord server, so jump in there if you like. You'll sound almost like you're sitting in the studio. Go to discord.lrn.fm. In fact, speaking of our Discord, we did mention we might give you an update on Alex Jones, and it's just as I predicted. Jones is coming out on top. I said a couple days ago when all this, when he got knocked out of YouTube, he got knocked out of Facebook, got knocked out of 3 other platforms all on one day, I said Jones is getting huge publicity off of this. Yep. This is going to play directly into his narrative of conspiracy theory, persecution, all of that. And sure enough, according to one of our chatters,
the techies are they're not run by, but they are heavily subsidized and controlled by government and regulators and the left, the liberals.
Jones tweeted out today, because he's still on that platform. They haven't cut him off yet, surprisingly.
I thought that was the first platform he allegedly got banned from.
They reneged.
Not this week.
They reneged on that today. I think he was dropped for 12 hours or something.
Oh, really? Because it wasn't reported that way on Monday. But anyway,
wow, somebody would wind up misreporting something because people want things to be clickbaity.
Yeah, I don't know. I had not heard anything about Twitter dropping him. But anyway, Jones tweeted out, the world responds to the hashtag censorship purge while making the hashtag InfoWars app #1. Or should I say hashtag one?
Yeah, this is Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. They did very, very bad things. This is going to blow up in their faces. This is just going to open it up for people are clamoring for an alternative. I know you're completely off of Facebook. Darryl, yes. I don't know what you do on the face space.
There's a few groups that I'm active in.
I mean, I don't live on it. But I do enjoy my face space.
Do you?
I do. But I would rather have an alternative because I don't want to support
Shire forums,
Zuckerberg,
Free Talk Live forums, forum.freetalklive.com.
Well, the other one that was out a couple of months ago was MeWe. I know I created.
And then there's that Gab.io.
I created an account, but no one's on it, so I mean, it doesn't really work. But
Gab.ai.
I think a lot of people.
Whatever that one. It's basically a platform for all kinds of white nationalists and neo-Nazis.
Melanie claims there's lefties on there too. She claims there's commies on there as well. So like both sides.
And then of course you have Mastodon, which is kind of like a Twitch. I'm not Twitch,
it's Twitter,
but it's kind of a Twitter. Yeah, it's kind of a Twitter thing.
Oh, and long before Mastodon, there was something, and I couldn't remember what the name of it was until just a couple days ago. It was Quitter.no.
Quitter?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, I happen to have gone after recalling the website just to see how many people are on this thing. And there's a big giant thing at the top that they're shutting down September 5th because nobody was using their service.
Yeah, I think more and more people are waking up and they're going to want an alternative. Facebook, you stepped in it, man.
But the Quitter.no thing, it was something run by GNU Social as a decentralized Twitter alternative.
I see.
That I think is somehow connected to the Mastodon thing that I don't know if that's going to wind up surviving.
Well, Jones, his app is currently the #1 trending app on the Google Store, the Google Play Store. It's also the #3 free news, so-called news app on their news category. And so there you go. I mean, Jones is coming out on top here, and that's what you should have expected to happen with all this publicity being directed at him. I guess kudos to him for being such a success. I was scrolling all the way down, continuing down the news category, and I happened to note that Rush Limbaugh was number 39.
He's probably hating it. He's probably in his house right now punching walls.
I know,
He's
man.
I can't believe that Alex Jones beat me again.
Times have changed for old Rush Limbaugh. I mean, he may be on hundreds of radio stations, but when it comes to an internet footprint, Alex Jones crushes Rush Limbaugh.
Because Rush Limbaugh puts everything behind a paywall.
A paywall. That's true. Let's go.
Well, what's his pay thing called?
You can listen to him live on the radio.
Rush 24/7. Rush 24/7.
You can listen to him on the radio. He's on for like 3 hours a day.
Right, but if you want his, let's say you're working and you
want
didn't
an archive?
catch, you want the archive, you've got to pay.
You want a webcam? No. You want the Limbaugh letter?
Yeah.
My dad used to subscribe to
Everything is behind a paywall.
I remember my granddad. He loved him some Limbaugh. Him and John Wayne.
You remember when Limbaugh was fat and used to have a TV show in the 1990s?
A TV show?
Oh, you don't remember that?
I remember when he was a fat guy.
He used to... Yeah, back when he was Fat Limbaugh in the early 90s, he had a television show. It was like a
syndicated... Didn't it only go like 2 or 3 episodes?
No,
or 2 or 3 seasons,
Yeah,
rather.
seasons maybe. Yeah. But yeah, so he had a syndicated television program.
Remember when Michael Savage had a TV show?
Do not.
That only went for like 2 or 3 months. He was on MSNBC.
Oh, that does ring a bell now.
Yeah, and then he got kicked off. Basically the same reason that Twitter and Apple stores removing Alex Jones stuff. Like, he was saying horrible, racist, hateful things, and people were like, yeah, we're not going to have that.
Let's talk to Sarah in New Mexico. Sarah, you're on Free Talk Live, the Conan and Darryl.
Yes, you want to pass a new state law that takes away guns with restraining orders, and you know something? As a woman, I'm all for it,
Wait, you want to pass a law, or one of your kooky legislators down there wants to?
Here. The Democrats want to pass a stricter gun law so that if you got a restraining order, I've heard plenty of women that get shot by their ex-husbands, or they're trying to divorce them or trying to get away from them, and they come to work and they shot them. So I've heard of at least maybe 5 or 6 of these New Mexico women since I've been here that got shot and murdered. And, I don't want somebody that I filed a restraining order to have a gun.
So let me see if I'm following you, because most restraining orders are filed ex parte, meaning the initial party that is being restrained actually was not appearing at the hearing. The ex parte, meaning the hearing happened without their input. Pending the full hearing from both sides, the judge will issue an ex parte order saying, so-and-so, Conan, you are prohibited from having contact with Ms. Sarah in New Mexico. And now Sarah's saying that also is going to include, if she gets her way, a prohibition on you possessing a weapon. Simply on the say-so, on the accusation of another party. Sarah, can't you see how that's going to be abused?
Well, you know what? I just know that plenty of women have gotten shot. And you know what? My father has threatened my mother's life with a gun.
Do you know how many women abuse men?
You know what? My mom could have divorced my dad, but they took away his gun because he was put in a mental hospital, and he was diagnosed with bipolar.
Do you know how many women abuse men?
Okay, but you know what? Who does the violent crime? It's the men. Men go out and shoot women. Do you think women go around and harass men and go and shoot
Actually,
them?
generally, if a woman is going to kill a man, hold on, Sarah is partially right here.
If a woman's going to kill a man, she marries him and over the next 40
They're
years.
more likely to use poison or a knife. They're less likely to use a firearm. So she is correct there.
But Sarah, what I'm asking you about is domestic violence. Do you know the rates at which domestic violence is man versus woman as compared to woman-on-man violence? Do you have any idea?
Well, I don't particularly know, but New Mexico women get beat up pretty much. In fact, we make national news.
Let me explain it to you. Since you don't know, let me explain to you. There are ostensibly more incidents of men being abused by women in domestic violence situations. It's just they don't get reported because men are not supposed to report those things. They're embarrassed to report a woman beating them.
Like Darryl said, who does the violent crime? Okay,
That's not what you called out.
That is not what I said. You said who shoots more often, and I agreed that it's more likely a man would shoot a female spouse. But if a female spouse is going to kill her husband, she's going to use other weapons or use poison.
That's correct. We like to poison because we're women. We like to be sly and slick.
Right. So should we wind up banning women from purchasing poison and having background checks?
I think that's a great idea. If I'm going to lose my gun, then she has to be background checked every time she wants to buy
steak
knives and
cutlery,
or rat poison.
But you understand, Sarah, that this can be turned around against you, right? So if your angry boyfriend...
Oh, not her. She doesn't own a gun.
Well, and she doesn't have dates and doesn't have relationships. But if you were in a relationship with somebody and your boyfriend decided he wanted to get a restraining order against you, you wouldn't be able to defend yourself against him because you'd be banned from having a weapon.
Yeah, except the way that this legislation gets written up, it will only affect men.
Well, that could be probably challenged as unconstitutional.
Yeah, you're presuming that that's how it would be written. That's probably how it would be enforced.
That's the way they want it. Yeah, yes, it would be enforced.
That's how they would enforce it.
And that's the way they want to write it.
The reality is women are also abusers in the home against men. They absolutely are. Not all of them, obviously.
Kill you with poison.
And not all men are abusing women either. But people should not have their rights their rights to have guns taken away simply on the accusation of another person. We'll see you tomorrow. Is spreading the message of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace around the globe worth $2 per month to you? As you may already know, in addition to our internet feed, LRN.FM broadcasts on free-to-air satellite across North and Central America, as well as Sub-Saharan Africa. And we've been available on satellite for free 24/7 since 2010. The LRN.FM free-to-air satellite signal is reaching some of the most oppressive regimes in the world, and there's no doubt our ideas are making an impact. You can learn more about the channel's impact by watching the 3-minute video at fund.lrn.fm. If you'd like to help free minds globally with our ideas of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace, you can donate as little as $2 per month via fund.lrn.fm. You can help us continue and expand our satellite broadcast to multiple continents. Visit fund.lrn.fm today, and thank you for your help. Don't forget to share the link on social media. That's fund.lrn.fm.
Are you tired of governments murdering people around the world? Stop using their money. There is an alternative. Bitcoin is a stateless, free market, non-political currency. Bitcoin cannot be inflated or controlled by any government. By using their money, you are helping the state. Stop doing it. You have an incredible alternative available now. Learn it, use it, spread it. Get started with Bitcoin at bitcoin.com. That's bitcoin.com.
The 3 most important things you can do for Free Talk Live are: 1, share 1 episode a week on Facebook or in some other social networking site. 2, buy the things you buy online through shop.freetalklive.com. 3, give $5 a month to the AMP program. It's my firm belief that Free Talk Live's AMP program is the best use of your charitable dollar among liberty-oriented organizations. Support all the organizations you love, but make sure you give $5 a month to AMP at amp.freetalklive.com.
The latest episode of Declare Your Independence is next, after the news, here on the Liberty Radio Network, LRN.FM.
From Keene in the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Darryl W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Wednesday, August 8th, 2018. Silver is trading at $15.33 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,210 per ounce. Zencash is trading at $21, and the average price of Bitcoin is $6,501. Antiwar.com reports tensions between Saudi Arabia and Canada are soaring since a Friday statement in which Canada expressed serious concerns about Saudi Arabia arresting human rights activists. On Monday, Saudi Arabia expelled Canadian Ambassador Dennis Horrick. Saudi officials announced that they are suspending all flights to Toronto, freezing all new trade and investments in Canada, and are ending educational exchanges and are retaining its rights to take further actions against them. Trade between Canada and Saudi Arabia are limited at any rate. Canada buys some petrochemicals from the Saudis, and the Saudis have a deal with a Canadian unit of U.S. arms maker General Dynamics on armored vehicles. The Canadian Foreign Ministry does not appear to be backing down, saying they will continue to stand up for human rights and freedom of expression around the world. While the Saudis have relied on their international economic influence to throw their weight around in diplomatic disagreements, they are almost certainly not going to be able to drum up anti-Canadian sentiment to a great extent. Zencash is the world's first private, distributed, and reliable platform for communications, transactions, and publishing. Zencash has the ability to use both transparent and shielded transactions, with shielded transactions using zero-knowledge proofs. Zencash features global governance with inclusive decision-making, reliable funding for continuous improvements, and documentation and wallets in many languages that are available for Linux, Mac, Windows, and Android devices. Learn more at zencash.com. That's zencash.com. UPI reports a federal court ruled Tuesday that the mother of a teenager killed in Mexico by a U.S. Border Patrol agent shooting from across the border in Arizona can sue for damages. The Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals issued a 2-1 ruling denying Border Patrol agent Lonnie Schwartz qualified immunity, stating 16-year-old Jose Antonio Alana Rodriguez was protected against unreasonable searches and seizures, even though he was shot and killed in Mexico. Judge Andrew Kleinfeld wrote, based on the facts alleged in the complaint, Schwartz violated the Fourth Amendment. It is inconceivable that any reasonable officer could have thought that he or she could kill J.A. for no reason. Thus, Schwartz lacks qualified immunity. Schwartz was found not guilty in April of second-degree murder for the 2012 shooting, and a retrial is set to take place in October. In the criminal case, Schwartz said he was acting in self-defense against people throwing rocks through a border fence in Nogales, Arizona, when he shot Rodriguez in the back 10 times. Araceli Rodriguez, Jose's mother, argued her son was innocently walking down a street in Mexico and was not throwing rocks or engaging in any other illegal activity. To allow Rodriguez's mother to sue for damages, the Ninth Circuit Court ruled to extend the U.S. Supreme Court ruling of Bivens v. 6 unknown named agents of the Federal Bureau of Narcotics, which held that a civil lawsuit can be filed against the federal government officials who violate the Fourth Amendment. You can support FPP Radio by joining the Fans program. Fans are friends, allies, and numerous supporters. You can join the Fans program for as little as $1 per month through Patreon and get perks like ad-free versions of FPP Radio News and Peace, Love, Liberty Radio. To learn more or to join the Fans program, visit fans.fppradio.com. Reuters reports a trial in which a school groundskeeper alleged that his use of Monsanto's Roundup weed killer caused his terminal cancer will go to a California jury after lawyers for both sides delivered their closing arguments on Tuesday. Groundskeeper Dwayne Johnson is one of more than 5,000 plaintiffs across the United States who claim Monsanto's glyphosate-containing herbicides, including the widely used Roundup, cause cancer. His case, the first to go to trial, began in San Francisco's Superior Court of California 4 weeks ago. Johnson's lawyer, Brent Wisner, claimed Monsanto knew about glyphosate's cancer risk but decided to bury the information. Monsanto, a unit of Bayer AG, following a $62.5 billion acquisition by the German conglomerate, denies the allegation and says expert testimony on which Johnson and others rely does not satisfy any scientific or legal requirements. The US EPA in September 2017 concluded a decades-long assessment of glyphosate risk and found the chemical not likely carcinogenic to humans. The World Health Organization's cancer arm in 2015 classified glyphosate as probably carcinogenic to humans. The jury, which is expected to start deliberating on Wednesday, can decide to award punitive damages on top of the more than $39 million in compensatory damages Johnson is seeking. This has been FPP Radio News. Online at fppradio.com.
Florida officials announced today its plan to experiment with new 600-lever voting machines.
The machine operates through a very straightforward process that we think is going to give Floridians the peace of mind that their votes will be counted. The voter turns on the machine using these 30 levers at the top and then enters their names and social security numbers using the alphanumeric levers near the bottom here. Right about now, the voter's going to have to find the two levers on the machine that are exactly identical and pull them at the same time. Then they're going to have to...
The new 22-foot-tall steam-powered machines, which officials are hailing as, quote, the future of voting, each feature over 45 separate panels of levers, along with an intricate series of valves, knobs, cranks, and pumps, all designed to streamline the electoral process.
Now, some of this may seem confusing, but every voter will be given a comprehensive 2,200-page manual when they enter their precinct that will explain exactly what to do.
This is the Onion News Network.
And now, live from the studios of Freedom's Phoenix, Ernest Hancock.
Believe me when I say we have a difficult time ahead of us. But if we are to be prepared for it, we must first shed our fear of it. I stand here without fear because I remember that I am here not because of the path that lies before me, but because of the path that lies behind me. I remember that for 100 years we have fought these machines. And after a century of war, I remember that which matters most. We are still here! Today, let us make them remember. We are not afraid! Yep. It's no fear here. I declare your independence to me. Understand? Cock here in Phoenix, Arizona. Hey, from the BEA beautiful studios of Freedoms with an S, Phoenix.com. Woo, that was a good one, wasn't it, James? Oh, it's James Corbett. We're missing him. You know, it's been too long because there's so much stuff going on. I just love having a conversation with James because he knows what's up. Here we got James Corbett. Edited, Corbett Report is edited, webmastered, written, produced, hosted by James Corbett. He's a busy boy. James Corbett's been living and working in Japan since 2004. He started the Corbett Report website in 2007 as an outlet for independent critical analyses of politics, society, history, and economics. Since then, he's written, recorded, edited thousands of hours of I Know Better now because I, watched the Corbett Report. All right, we just want to get right to it. How are you, James?
I'm great from the BAU beautiful studios of CorbettReport.com.
Thank you. You know where I get that from? It was what was it? The Almighty Bruce or something. It was Jim Carrey played God as a weather reporter or something. Anyway, I seen a meme and it said, "You're welcome. Now you know how to spell beautiful," which I needed help, man. I couldn't, BEA. I never could get it right. All right, this is the one. All right, the first thing I want to get to, we were at the